midst of his second season coaching the Bison, a mark of 19-2. As we mentioned earlier, is yet to lose a home game. Looking to get to 6-0. The Bison have not done that since the 2021 season, if they're able to do that. There's SIU's monster of a quarterback who actually, as we mentioned, Kyle, on Bison Game Day, he's played in this building. He was the starting quarterback for Murray State 2 years ago.
That's right. And really, when I remember, prepping for that game, you think this is not their entire offense, but really close. Maybe not as much of a dynamic passer as he is now. 67% completion percentage. Also leads the team in rushing. He is the go-to guy, someone we'll be talking about a lot alongside Cole Payton, two of the best quarterbacks in the country here today.
He also had your tight end, you like Cole Rusk, who went to Ole Miss in the SEC out of that Murray State team. Nice crowd is settled in here to the Dome. Vincent Davis, one of the top players in the Valley, is back, number 2. Keep your eye on him. He'll be in the slot. Tim Polisic told me earlier this week considers Davis and Rajon Nelson the 2 best slot receivers in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Eli Ozick will put it in the air. And off we go with Bison football on WDAY. This will go into the end zone for a touchback. So we'll meet the SIU starters on offense, and they have been electric, as you heard Sam mention, so far in 2025, scoring 5 touchdowns on their first 5 possessions to start games, led by this offensive line. Noah Fensky, big man at center. Keep your eye on the new left tackle, Blaine Halley, making his 2nd straight start. Williams is the quarterback. Change at running back, Chandler Chapman is in. LaShawn Lester out with an injury, and we mentioned Davis, who also can scoot. He's had a tremendous start to the season. 504 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. From the 25, Williams will keep it. He made Keenan Wilson miss, and this is what he can do, dragging Donovan Woolen out there, out to the 42-yard line, and a gain of 17 to start things for the Salukis. As you look at the Bison defense, led by that man in the middle, and Keenan Wilson, who had his best game of the season last week, had a sack, a couple of TFLs with the win of Illinois State, Staling at the big fumble recovery against the Redbirds, and a secondary that's certainly going to be tested today. Officially, they'll give him 16 yards on first down. Blitz off the edge coming. They'll try to go to the outside. As Chapman keeps up the reception. They're going to mark him at the 42. All of that for about a gain of 1.
Well, it didn't take long for us to get introduced to DJ Williams. And going back to that first play, made Toby Anene miss. Had everything we wanted right there as defensive end. He had it right there, but does a good job of making him miss. Now we got a false start.
We got some movement there, and we just were talking about Halley to start the game. Sophomore, 6'7", big number 67 on the edge.
Second down.
As he is the guilty party.
Yeah, new starter a week ago, lone sophomore on this starting offensive line. Really, this is really an experienced team. I was looking through. You got 9 seniors on offense, 8 on defense. This is a team that's seen a lot of football.
We talked about in the open, offensive line is something that Nick Hill said is better than any other times that he's been to Fargo. In his 3 previous trips, these games have been decided by 24 points or more. It's 2nd and 14 as Williams goes up top for Jay Jones. Another one of SIU's electric playmakers. It's going to be enough for a first down. He's pushed out of the Bison side of the field to the 48.
Yeah, it's not just Vincent Davis. We talked about him, but Jay Jones, 6'4". Again, you can see the length that he has right there, just kind of fitting that in between the cover 2 corner right there. And you see Southern Illinois kind of mixing things up here. Not surprised. Again, we talked about how good they are offensively, start games going fast right now.
The gain of 15, a little high for Chapman. Got 2 penalty flags on the play as Kopp is able to wrap up Chapman. But we see we've got multiple penalty flags right after the snap.
Illegal substitution. 12 players on defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Bison able to get that substitution.
Well, I think that's part of them going fast in Southern Illinois. I saw Jalen Crumby kind of walk off the field right as that flag was thrown, right after that first play. Walked right over the defensive coordinator, Grant Olson. You could tell a little bit of miscommunication on the Bison defense. You see a couple different guys.
Dutenheffer's trying to get off
too.
too.
Again, if Southern Illinois doesn't sub, they do not have to wait, and that's exactly what you saw happen right there.
Holisic frustrated on that call.
And that might be what he's, I didn't see it down, but again, if offense substitutes, you have to give the defense time to do it as well. I didn't see it, and that, I'm wondering if that's what he's upset about.
So with the penalty, the ball will be spotted now at the Bison 43. It'll be a first down and 5. This SIU team comes in. They've been well over 30 points in each of their games outside of its loss to Purdue as they go up the middle with Chapman. Gets hit by Givens. It's going to be a yard short. It's going to be second down and 1.
You see 83 Schwendeman, the tight end right there. It's kind of that insert play. We saw Illinois State did that a ton a week ago. They should kind of do it with 2 tight ends. NDSU struggled with it a little bit, and this is not new. Southern Illinois does this a lot. They play 11 personnel, kind of have that sniffer tight end in that offset position where they can motion him all, they can insert him, they do a lot of different things. Keep an eye on that throughout this ballgame.
Our First Western Bank down in distance on second and 1. Back to up the middle here as they'll keep it on the ground. That's with Lem Wash, transfer from USD at running back, who gets to the 35 and a gain of 4.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Dom. LaShawn Lester not in this ball game. They got a plethora of running backs in the backfield. Again, mentioned it, that run for over 400 yards a week ago against Indiana State. It wasn't just one guy. They did it with multiple guys. Not that's something they're going to live in, but they are very balanced offensively. They will keep you on your heels.
3 minutes gone in this opening possession. Now to the Bison 35. High snap there. Williams will toss it to Wash. Makes 2 men miss. Shakes off Donovan Woolen as well. Good run as he gets down to first down yardage at the 25.
Tackling so far, this is something we feel like we talk about every single year. It hadn't really been an issue so far for NDSU. You see a couple missed tackles, not only on that play, but on this drive, something, again, to keep your eye on for NDSU. Got some dynamic athletes. I haven't even really seen Vincent Davis get the ball in his hands yet, but a lot of good players on the Southern Illinois offense. If you're NDSU, got to find a way to get your hands on them and get them down to the turf.
Salukis come in averaging 43 points per game and looking the part of this opening drive. It's a first down for Wash. He got 10. Williams will keep it himself on a design run. Able to be brought down from behind by Stealing on the tackle. It gets to the 19 and a gain of 6.
Well, I think this is why they're so good to start off football games, throwing in little wrinkles. This is, watch a game and a half of that. This is a formation you don't see again. And you could see NDSU trying to communicate defensively, and then before you know it, the ball is snapped, and you got DJ Williams coming at you with a design quarterback draw.
We talked about it in our pregame show about these mobile quarterbacks that gives defenses trouble. Bison have seen more than their handful during their time as they'll keep it on the ground here. Edward Robinson gets his first carry. That's the third different back as Dutenheffer in there on the stop.
Yeah, really good job. You see Jackson Dutenheffer right there splitting a double team right there. Does a really nice job of getting in the backfield. Working against Aiden Logan, 61. I know that's one guy. We talked about how good this offensive line is. 61, one guy I thought this coaching staff said they might have an opportunity against, and Jackson Dutenheffer took advantage right there.
The Bison crowd trying to be heard for the first time today on a third down and 5 from the Bison 20. Williams, he'll keep it now. Dutenheffer can't wrap him up, and he's got a first down. Elusiveness.
Well, this is what everyone else is seeing with Cole Payton, right? Now you're just seeing it on the other side of the ball. You had a couple different guys have a chance. This is a large, big athlete that is not obviously shifty. You can see that, but you get your hands on him, and that does not guarantee anything. It's some of the broken plays, something not there downfield, and he finds a way more often than not to make a play.
Needed 5 and he got 6. Kyle, it's 1st and 10 from the 13. Impressive opening drive. Watch for Fabian McCray at the bottom of your screen. They'll keep it with Chapman and roped up by Dutenheffer. His stellar senior season continues.
Well, and that's what you need defensively. You're bleeding a little bit, right? You're marching down the field. You got to have someone up front, try and make a play, try and slow something down. Jackson Dutenheffer now with his second big-time play on this opening drive.
Salukis are into the red zone here. No gain. That's the first play. The Bison have either had a TFL or no gain. It's a second down and 10 from the 13. Williams, down he goes off the edge. The sack Jack Giuliano, Grandpa, the 7th-year senior out of Rye, New York.
You see him come off the left side of your screen, trying to bring someone across to get to him. Giuliano is they're just too late. He's just too quick off the ball. They didn't account for, you see right there. I believe that's Aiden Quinn, 41, coming across. That's his guy, and he just gets there too late. And Giuliano, great job of coming up with the sack.
He started his collegiate career. You were still playing in the NFL, 2019. Played in the Ivy League for 4 years at Penn. Last year at Albany, now at NDSU. A loss of 5 makes it 3rd and 15. Williams, little toss play, but nothing doing there on that as they went to Davis, and the Bison defense bows up as Kopp comes up with the tackle.
Yeah, it's a really good stop, but you can see it right here. I think this dude, no, it's 61 pulling around there. It's the guy we were just talking about, Aiden Logan. He almost trips up his own guy, but trying a little shovel pass. But you mentioned it, Dom. It's a big-time stop there from NDSU. You'll take a field goal attempt here after the way that Southern was driving around, and we just heard from Sam how good they've been on opening drives, especially putting the ball in the end zone.
Paul Heelan in to attempt a field goal. This will be from 35 yards out to give SIU the lead. Snap down, kick is up. It was over the left upright, and that is good. And SIU strikes first on its opening drive as they take up nearly half the quarter and draw first blood. With 7:15 to go in the first, it's Southern Illinois 3, Bison nothing. Field goal makes it a 3-0 SIU lead. The Bison defense getting pushed around there. They bent, they did not break on that opening drive.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, obviously a huge win. We saw that a little bit a week ago against Illinois State. Only gave up 16 points, gave up some yards. You'll live with field goals, especially when you take, they're kind of their best shot there on that opening drive.
Halen with a boomer that's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. So the Bison will start at their own 25. Timeout, 7:15 to go, opening quarter. Bison about to get the ball, down 3-0. first time as they go to work from the 25-yard line. Little jet sweep to Bryce Lance. Lance makes a cut. Look out! Into the open field! Mr. Marshall! He may go! Touchdown, North Dakota State!
Number 5.
75 yards!
Touchdown! North Dakota State!
Well, how about that start, Don? I mean, it's unbelievable. Given the Bryce Lance, he's done it in pretty much every other way. He's scored touchdown. He's got his quarterback downfield blocking for him as well, and just a nice, easy trot all the way, barely even touched. Just a great job of finding the edge and getting one of your dynamic playmakers the ball in a different way. Unbelievable. What a play call. What a start to this game for this Bison offense after sitting for half a quarter.
The Saints and the Browns are here today. I wonder if they took note of that, of what just happened. 75 yards, his 4th straight game with a touchdown for Mr. Marshall, Minnesota, Bryce Lance. Timeout, 7:02 to go in the first. The Bison offense, 1 play, 1 touchdown, 7-3. (7-3) North Dakota State with the lead as you look at our Farmers Union Insurance scoring recap. 1 play, 75 yards. His second 75-yard touchdown this season from Bryce Lance. Took all of 13 seconds to make this a 7-3 Bison lead. 4th straight game with a touchdown for the standout senior. Consider the top FCS NFL prospect as this is going to be down to the end zone for a touchback as SIU will come out for its second possession. We'll step aside for a quick word from the Bank of North Dakota.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident with your student loan decisions. Before applying for a Federal Plus or private student loan, compare all of the benefits and terms with B&D's student loans. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
Well, let's see how SIU, Kyle, responds after that. The Bison defense barely got a break. You remember those days.
I was going to say, that's the one negative to that is the defense just out there for 13 plays straight and right back on the field. But obviously you'll take a 75-yard touchdown any day. We thought we might see some points here today,
Yep.
Dom. I don't know if we thought it'd come necessarily that quickly, especially from NDSU. Just 1 play. Bryce Lance to the outside. We knew he could obviously catch and run. Now we see the jet sweep, and he takes it all the way to the house.
So the Salukis with Williams trying to go for the deep ball. Hold in on the reception. That's Fabian McCray, the other of the 3-headed monster for SIU with a big-time catch. We got a penalty flag, though, Kyle, back at the 31.
Well, this is a ridiculous catch by McCray.
It's a ridiculous hold by Alfaro,
yeah,
too.
Alfaro's grabbing onto him, one-handed. Unbelievable.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Oof.
All for
Offense
naught.
number 61.
That's tough.
5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's on their offensive lineman on Logan.
Yeah, it's one, and makes me wonder. You know, we've talked about this before. Anytime there's an RPO, sometimes you don't know as an offensive lineman. You see right there, 61. Yeah, way downfield blocking. I don't know if that's one. If he assumes it's a run, or maybe he's assuming RPO and the ball is going to come out quickly. I don't know. Either way,
That's a tremendous
that's tough.
catch.
Yeah, because that is an unbelievable one-handed grab there by Fabian McCray.
That's tough, too. You got a big play, explosive play to start a drive, and now move it back 5 to the Saluki 20. First and 15, 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Williams zings that one complete. They go right back to McCray, right at the first down marker. That's going to be enough for an SIU first down.
And they get it all back just one play later. And you can see the arm strength right here. NUSU decides to bring pressure, actually dropping a defensive end. I believe that's Kelton McCaslin. They're in coverage. It fits it right to the side of him. They go up tempo again.
Gain of 15 on first down over the middle, incomplete. Davis couldn't corral that with Stealing in the area.
Kind of interesting formations here to start this game. Nick Hill decided to go a lot more empty, kind of spread this Bison defensive out. Actually had Davis right there once again and go some no huddle, trying to switch things up. We saw this from Illinois State a week ago. Show NDSU something maybe you haven't seen a ton of on film.
Stack receivers to the bottom of your screen on a second down. Williams fakes it, now throws, incomplete, nearly brought in by McCray. He was looking for that Willie Mays style as Shadimi Alfaro was in coverage.
Oh, this is tough. I mean, I don't even know if you call this arm. This looked run all the way here. I think DJ Williams is going to run it, and then he saw Logan Kopp right in front of him at the last second. Again, this time, no offensive lineman downfield. McCray almost hauls it in again. That's tough as I mean, you got a big-time quarterback running downhill in the last minute. He's going to play. You're going to get a lot of one-on-one matchups. If you're Southern Illinois, you can continue to do that. I like this play calling from Nick Hill so far.
Hill, the former quarterback, he's also the QB coach at SIU. Williams got hurt just 2 games into last year. The Bison did not see him in Carbondale. Here's a third down, dumps this one off over the middle. Davis wrapped up. Nicely done on the tackle. That's Kopp. And it's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, kind of like a downfield screen here. They're going to bring a drag route across the middle there and try and set up some blocking downfield. You see Logan Kopp. That's exactly how you teach tackling. Just shoot your gun, go through, don't hesitate, just run through the tackle. And nice job there by Logan Kopp to get NDSU defense off the field.
I know they got a first down out of it, Cal, but that was a quick time with the ball that SIU will punt it away. Halen does all the kicking for SIU. He's back to punt. 2 back deep for the Bison. Nelson and Williams. Got to pick your poison there. Nelson will signal a fair catch at the 20-yard line. And that's where the Bison will begin their second offensive possession. With a 7-3 lead for the Bison offense comes out. We'll step aside for a quick word from the Bank of North Dakota.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident with your student loan decisions. Before applying for a Federal Plus or private student loan, compare all of the benefits and terms with B&D's student loans. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
7-3 Bison. NDSU gets the football from its own 20-yard line. 5:16 to go. Opening quarter. Glad you're joining us on this Saturday with Sam Getzinger, Kyle Emanuel, our great crew. I'm Dom Izzo. Here's Cole Payton throwing for the first time. That's zinged out to Chris Harris, who spun around at the 26-yard line. Harris back in the lineup after missing a couple games with a foot injury. Good to see him back out there as you get our first look at the Bison offensive starters. With that offensive line has been the same starters through all now 6 games of the regular season. Barika Penu had his first 100-yard game of the season last week, going for 114 and a touchdown in the win over Illinois State. It's a gain of 6 to Harris. Makes it a 2nd down and 4. As Penu will get his first carry, and boy, runs into a brick wall there. Salukis were humming on that one. Wingate was in there, Presto as well. And it's going to be 3rd down. As you look at the SIU defense, keep your eye on Wingate as well off that back edge. They're without one of their top players on defense. Andrew Boehm, their leading tackler, Kyle, actually will not go. Might be more on Colin Bohannock at the linebacker spot.
Yeah, Ben Fiegel as well, a guy who had 12 tackles filling in last week.
So Boehm out of the lineup. Salukis without 2 starters, top running back and top linebacker out of this game. On 3rd down and 3, Peyton tripped up and is short of the first down as the Salukis broke through. And it's going to be 4th down. A quick 3 and out there for the Bison offense.
Well, and this was a recipe for Illinois State last week. Try to get pressure, and they only bring 4. But you see a nice little stunt there. Probably get away with a hold.
Yep.
But definitely get away with a hold. And then just do just enough. We have not seen a ton of that so far from Cole Payton this year. If someone being able to at least bring him down at or beyond the line of scrimmage.
Montrell Chazet, number 11, was the one who was able to penetrate there for the Salukis. Aaron Bickerton, who had the week off last week, did not have to punt. Will punt here early in this game. Driving kick there to the 30. Right in on the tackle. Exploding through is Darius Givens, who has been excellent on special teams over the last 2 years.
Well, this is a great job. You're always taught on punt return. First guy, you got to take a shot. Just take a shot. You know you have guys behind you, and that's exactly what Darius Givens does right there. As mentioned, been a dynamic special teams player throughout his career. Obviously done some really nice things on the defensive side as well.
You feel for Tamario there, that's a helpless spot. No, you're going to get just crushed.
Yeah, that's one you're going to come on the side. Hey, put the hand up next time. Take the fair catch, secure the ball.
41-yard punt from Bickerton. SIU back on the field at the 35. They'll keep it on the ground here on 1st down with Chapman driving forward out to the 41-yard line before Givenson on the stop. He picked up 6.
This is something, if you're NDSU, you got to find a way to take this away. I know, I mean, you could say that every single week, but this offense is so dangerous with what they have on the outside. Some of the wide receivers, obviously, the quarterback DJ Williams cannot, and they've been balanced the entire season, but obviously you got to try and limit it one thing, and to me, you got to find a way to take away the run game.
2nd down and 3. They officially gave 7 as Williams trying to get to the outside. Nice tackle. Might have been a touchdown-saving tackle from Givens.
Yeah, a little bit of a quarterback counter here, Dom. DJ Williams going to fake like he's going to throw the ball. They pull some offensive linemen around, do a nice job of securing that edge. You mentioned it, Darius Givens, 2 big-time tackles so far on this drive. That one might have turned into a lot more.
He doesn't need a lot of room to get going. Even for his big frame, he can fly. It's a 1st down for SIU. Already their 6th of the quarter. Out to the 47-yard line. As we click under 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Bison crowd trying to get a little bit louder as before the snap. And we got whistles here. It looked like SIU may have got a timeout.
Snap, timeout, Southern Illinois. Be a 30-second timeout.
Looked like there was some discombobulation there before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, trying to make some checks, but I'm a little bit confused. Maybe the players heard the whistle before us, but it looked like Chapman was wide open. They kind of ran just a bunch of crossers. It looked like NDSU was in man-to-man, and you had Chapman on the outside. But yeah, some type of miscommunication before that play got off. Nick Hill did not like what he saw. Decided to call a timeout.
Saw Hill there is now behind Brock Spack as the 2nd longest tenured coach in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, former quarterback with the Salukis. Led into the playoffs in 2023. Last year was an all-time year for injuries. They were down to their 4th string quarterback by the time of the season, and they actually were using a former grad assistant, came in and started the last couple games for SIU last year.
They were decimated beyond belief last year, and obviously that guy you're looking at right now was the number one person that they were missing.
Then the backup quarterback, Hunter Simmons, he got hurt. Now he's the starting quarterback at Wisconsin. On a 1st down and 10. Williams eludes Giuliano, then runs into the brick wall there. Wool was in on the tackle. Gonna be minimal gain.
Still, you see the quickness right there. I mean, the jump cut, and this is what you need if you're NDSU. You got to have multiple hats to the ball every time. Anytime you come into a ball game, whether it's quarterback, running back, doesn't matter who. Anytime they have the shiftiness, the side to side moves like we saw right there from DJ Williams, you got to find a way to get 11 hats to the ball. NDSU did a good job of it right there on 1st down.
No gain of the play. Makes it a 2nd down and 10 as we click down to 1:10 remaining in the opening quarter. Williams wants the deep ball, got a man wide open down the field. McCray cuts back in. He's down inside the 20 for Staling, brings him down. That's going to be a gain of 28.
Well, I think this is a bust here from NDSU. I think Jaquise Alexander was deep along with the safety, and there's just no one there for that kind of 7 route, that deep corner route. There's just absolutely no one there for NDSU. It's usually a flat defender in cover 3 that's got a hinge with that, or someone cover 2, a corner that's got a sink with it. There's just absolutely no one there. That's an easy pitch and catch for DJ Williams.
Back inside the red zone for SIU as we're down to the final half minute of the first quarter from the 19-yard line. Williams under pressure, just throws it up for the end zone. Incomplete, and a couple of penalty flags. Looks like Alexander might get flagged here.
Yeah, and that's a no-win situation for a corner. How many times have we seen it down a little bit underthrown? NDSU does a really good job of getting pressure. Like you said, Williams just tosses that up, hoping that something like that might happen. And that's
prior to the pass, holding defense number 0, be a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
just so tough. It's just so hard as a defender. You take a look right here. Nice job by Woolen of winning his one-on-one, and then you throw it up, and then left hand just gets caught right there. Doesn't know where the ball is. It's obviously extremely underthrown, but sometimes that's a quarterback's best friend.
Right.
You just throw it a little bit short. Makes it so tough on that defender to know where the ball is.
Look at that play. Went from near disaster for SIU with him getting sacked and ends up getting a first down and a penalty out of it.
Yeah, right. Just finds a way. Again, said that a ton about Cole Payton, but just finds a way to make something good happen out of nothing.
So now it is first down and goal from the Bison 9. 16 seconds to go. Williams keeps this, tries to cut his way back up. Finally brought down. McCaslin was in there on the tackle as he gets down to the 5, which will take us to the end of the first quarter.
So much eye candy here. You see all the shifts, the motions. I'm going to look to the left and I'm going to come back to the right. A lot of things with their eyes. You got to be on point if you're NDSU defensively.
A lot of things happen in that first quarter. At the end of one, it's North Dakota State 7, Southern Illinois 3. Second quarter coming up. You're watching Bison football on WDAY. Back inside Gate City Bank Field at the Fargo Dome. Start of the second quarter. North Dakota State leading Southern Illinois 7-3. Salukis have a second down and goal to go from the 5. Williams hands it off to Chapman. Makes a man miss. Touchdown, SIU. Chandler Chapman with his 4th touchdown of the season gives the Salukis the lead.
Oh, and it's great patience right here. You're going to see Chapman just that little stutter step right there, and then he finds the lane. He finds a seam. Great job of waiting behind that offensive line, allowing it to develop in front of him, finding the hole and finding the end zone.
Impressive drive, answer right back there after SIU got a 3-and-out from the Bison. They go 6 plays and 65 yards. As Halen in here for the extra point attempt. High snap, but it is straight through and good. And SIU takes back the lead just 4 seconds into the second quarter. It's Southern Illinois 10, North Dakota State 7. (10-7), Southern Illinois with the lead after Chandler Chapman's 5-yard touchdown run. 8th-ranked Salukis took a shot early, but have punched right back and have the lead, matching already their output of points they had here 2 years ago, Kyle, in the Senior Day finale in 2023, a 34-10 Bison win that day. As Halen will put this one in the air. We got 2 kickers just booming here. That's through the back of the end zone, and a touchback as the Bison offense will step on the field. Here's a word from Shields. Bison offense has had the football for all of 2 minutes.
And 4 plays.
And that's almost a carbon copy of what happened last week. You remember the safety that happened earlier in the game on the 3rd play, 2nd play, I believe, from scrimmage in the game last week at Illinois State. Redbirds had 42 plays in the first half against North Dakota State. On first down, here's Barika Penu. He'll go up the middle, gets about 3 yards before he's wrapped up on the play by Vinny Pierre.
Well, and this is kind of that stretch play that NDSU had so much success with a week ago against Illinois State. Really kind of got to it a lot more in that second half, something they just couldn't stop. You got to imagine Southern Illinois understands that. Did a nice job of at least setting the edge and making Penu cut back, but minimal gain there on first down.
Officially say 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. As Peyton into the flat for Bryce Lance. Gets a nice block up the field. Look at that. Shakes off a guy and picked up a first down. Good blocking from Makai Collins down the field as Pierre was in on the tackle.
No, you're right, Dom. I mean, this looked like a play that wasn't a lot going on right away. Makai Collins does a nice job of hanging on to his block for a long time. This is tough as a receiver right there to get his hands around him and allow Bryce Lance to break a couple tackles and pick up a first down. Just getting, again, finding ways to get the ball in the number 5's hands.
Able to pick up 7. Bison offense gets its first down of the game. That one play went for a touchdown. Little play fake here. Peyton rolls out wide open as Chris Harris out of bounds. He steps out. They'll say rated midfield, a gain of 14. There was nobody in the zip code.
This should have been a touchdown. I mean, Harris obviously doesn't know, but Pearson, number 5, you can't see him right here. He falls down. I mean, there is absolutely no one there. Kind of lucky at least he got his feet in bounds,
right.
But if Peyton or Harris, one of the two, notices that there was no one there, basically man-to-man coverage on the back end. Pearson falls down, and actually for Southern, you're fortunate
right.
that only went for 14.
Back-to-back first downs for NDSU as Penu cuts up the field. Good run there from Barica as he gets out to the 41. Let's go downstairs for a Peterson Farm Seat sideline report. Here's Sam.
Dom, I've been floating around the defensive huddles here while the Bison have been on the bench. The message from the defensive coaches, well, it may seem basic, it has definitely been heard. The big message down here from Grant Olson, defensive coordinator, do your job. Too many missed assignments that have led to the 10 points. There's also been a lot of emphasis on the loose tackling. Don't want them to lose their feet and have stiff arms to make the tackle on DJ Williams and others.
Thanks, Sam. A gain of 9. Little end around can Raja Nelson. He slips, though, and he's going to lose about 4. That play was blown up from the start. Jake Perella, number 20, in there on the tackle.
Yeah, you're assuming Perella's going to kind of take himself out of the play, right? They pull offensive lineman to the other side. He does a nice job of just staying home, and then Raja Nelson gets forced back right into the arms of Perella. Good job of recognizing the play and coming up with a big tackle.
So it's a loss of 4. We'll make it a 3rd down and 5. Bison just 0 of 1 on 3rd downs. That happened late in the first quarter. On 3rd and 5. Peyton flushed here. In trouble. Penalty flag on the play as he goes down the field. That's incomplete. Back around where Peyton was trying to evade. Looks like SIU may have got another stop here. That's in the area of holding.
Yeah, the Southern bench is celebrating. Got to imagine. Yeah, because a referee, Carl Chapman, going to the other side, asking them what they want to do.
Holding, offense number 71. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
That's what I thought they were going to do. I don't think you're going to give Peyton another chance with the ball after we've seen the Houdini mark. Tossed it as the guilty party. And the Bison will have to punt again.
Well, so far, so really good job by the Southern defense. And we haven't seen them a ton on the field outside of that first play, but of limiting the scrambling ability from Cole Payton. Obviously, everyone's tried to do it. Not many have been able to do it with success, but nothing open downfield. And then they also do a nice job of forcing him out of the bounce, and there's nowhere for him to go with his legs.
Tay Mario back deep for SIU as Bickerton will punt for the 2nd time to try and pin the Salukis deep. End over end kick. It's going to be inside the 10. They'll take an SIU bounce at about the 10-yard line. It's where it's downed by Antoine Booth. We've got a timeout. 11:43 to go in the first half. Salukis with the lead and the ball up by 3. Timeout, SIU with the football, up by 3, starting at their own 11-yard line after they force the Bison to punt. Keep it on the ground as Chapman will go up the middle and pick up about 4. Dare I say this might be an early big drive in this game?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I think, SIU just exactly outside of that first play to Bryce Lance, I mean, they've stayed on the field. They've done what they need to do. Keep Cole Payton out in this Bison offense off the field, got some good stops, and I think they kind of have this Bison defense guessing a little bit with all the different formations and motions. Kind of got them guessing.
Gain of 4 for Chapman. Filling in for the injured LaShawn Lester. Williams tries to go deep, incomplete. Boy, Bison defense was circling there as he tried to hit Davis.
Well, we've already seen him complete one, but you got to imagine at some point Williams is going to complete one of these. Nice coverage there from NDSU, but they've gotten one-on-one. Basically every time they went downfield, NDSU committed some guys to the box to try and slow down the run game. They've gotten a lot of one-on-one opportunities. Brings up a big third down.
Late sub here on 3rd and 6. Williams. Now he's going to scamper. He's got room. Diving forward. He's got a first down as well as he gets out to the 23-yard line. Is he able to pick up 8?
Oh, this is so frustrating as a defense because you have exactly what you wanted. I mean, it's basically crossing routes against zone coverage. That's exactly what you need. I thought Donovan Wolin stayed in coverage just a little bit too long. It's so hard as a defender. You don't know how close the quarterback is to the line of scrimmage. It's easy for us to see from up here, not as easy as a defender, and it stayed in coverage just a little bit too long and allowed Williams to squeak by that first down marker.
Came in with 386 rushing yards on the season. Kyle mentioned a 75-yarder on the first play of the game against SEMO earlier this season. That play nearly blown up in the backfield. Breaking through his cop to slow up the run.
Yeah, playing in the backfield, you see 43 coming on the blitz, and no one picks him up. Chapman almost does an unbelievable job of putting his hand on the ground and keeping his balance. He does a nice job just to get back to the line of scrimmage, but you can see a nice pressure dialed up by defensive coordinator Grant Olson to get Cobb untouched into the backfield.
Cobb flying out there with a couple of early stops. No gain, makes it 2nd down and 10 from the Saluki 23. Just over 5 minutes gone in this second quarter. Williams under pressure, and down he goes. Dudeneffer finishes off along with Keenan Wilson.
Well, everyone talks about, containing the quarterback. You got to keep him in the pocket. You got to keep him. Well, how do you do it? You get pressure from the outside right there, and then you get a good push from Keenan Wilson and Logan Larson right in the middle. That's exactly how you do. You got to get someone off the edge, push them right into D tackles that are able to press the pocket. Nice coverage downfield, tight man-to-man coverage, nowhere for DJ Williams to go with the ball, and he gets sacked.
Loss of 7. Larson coming through for his first sack of the season. Bison crowd coming up on 3rd and 17. Play clock almost expired. They go down the field for McCray. That's incomplete, and it's got to be 4th down. He almost came up with that one in front of the Bison bench, and the Salukis will have to punt.
Yeah, it's a good recognition from Williams of understanding the pressure is coming, and almost, like you said, almost fits this one in there. Good job. I think that was Darius Givens of coming through and delivering the big hit, making sure that ball fell to the turf.
Boy, the Bison defense needed it, much like earlier in the game. Wilson and Larson at Minnesota tandem from the Twin Cities comes through with a sack. Heelan into punt for the 2nd time. Another boomer here. Fair caught by Nelson at the 38-yard line. And good he did, because that would have ran for a while. Timeout. 8:47 to go in the first half. Salukis lead it 10-7. 7 of this FCS season. Bison football, the 38-yard line, as Peyton wants to throw on first down. Has time, looking for Nelson. He's open. Raja cuts up the field and out of bounds. All the way up to the SIU 36. That's a gain of 22.
Oh, what a clean pocket for Cole Payton to just sit here all day. You see this, right? This clean pocket. He can step into it and allows the time for Raja Nelson to come up. Deep crossing route, and he's wide open downfield. I was just about to say, Dom, you got to wonder for this Bison offense. Can't get into a rhythm a little bit. That's the downside of scoring on your first play and then a couple 3-and-outs. And see how Dan Larson likes to adjust here. And so far, so good with that first play.
They'll go to work now from the Saluki 36 as they'll keep it on the ground with Barika Penu. Look at the hard charging run here. Penu still going forward. They'll mark it to the 22 and a gain of 14.
We'll take a look at the right side of that offensive line. I thought they came off the ball. Maybe the hardest I've seen so far in this ball game. It almost looked like they jumped a little bit, but they got off the ball, got a nice push along that right side of that offensive line and allowed Penu to do what he's done so well. As we talked about, went over 100 yards for the first time this season a week ago.
He's already eclipsed last year's total touchdown mark. He's done that in 5 games with 8 scores so far this year. The toss to Penu. This time, nothing doing there. He's wrapped up nearly immediately. Nice job on the tackle. There's Ben Fiegel. You were talking about him.
Yeah, a guy who's filled in. I thought he's filled in really nicely. You watch him come downhill. I think that's one thing that these linebackers do a really good job of. They are aggressive downhill. You'll see them do it in man-to-man coverage a lot. I call it pressure rush, right? Their back stays in. They will come down. They are aggressive. Fiegel did a nice job of filling in last week. Andrew Bain, we talked about their leading tackler, not in this ball game. Nice job there on that first down play.
Officially a loss of 1 makes it a 2nd down and 11 as we're more than halfway through the second. Peyton flushed here. Now he's going to take it himself. Takes a man head on, will spin out of bounds and be able to get up a couple there. McClendon was the one who first offered contact.
Pretty clean pocket. Once again, you see a little bit of a penetration right there, but just, again, not a ton open downfield, and that's the advantage of when you can play zone. Southern likes to play man-to-man, but they will switch it up. They play probably more coverage than I've seen from some of the opponents NDSU's played so far. We got zone eyes. This allows you to get multiple guys to the quarterback when he decides to scramble.
It's a 3rd down and 8. The Bison still looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the game. Peyton, O-line picked it up. That's a low throw and incomplete. Trying to hit Lance. And the SIU defense comes up with a hold. It's going to be 4th down.
Oh, we just talked about it. Switched it up, went back to man-to-man, brought a little bit of pressure, and this is just not a great route. Anytime when you just have, it's got to come out just a little bit earlier.
That's a rare drop from Bryce.
Yeah, it goes right through his hands. Might have been short of the line either way. You just mentioned, good job holding up here by this Saluki defense.
Here's Eli Ozick to attempt what is a 38-yarder. Ozick made one and missed one last week in Normal. He's 6 of 8 on the season. Snap is up, kick is up, and this one is good. And that will tie the football game with 6:12 to go in the first half. Bison have knotted this thing up at 10. So you see Jeremiah McClendon down on the field after that kick.
42 yards, 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Eli Ozick, 38-yard field goal.
So the Bison able to go on a 6-play, 42-yard drive and take 2.5 minutes off the clock to tie the game up at 10 as McClendon is back up and running off the field, which is good to see. Reminder, we'll be back with you next Saturday in the Eastern Time Zone. First trip to Terre Haute in 3 years as the Sycamores are waiting for the Bison. We hit the air at 10 a.m. for Bison game day, and then 11:50 for a noon kickoff between North Dakota State and Indiana State from the Hoosier State next Saturday live on WDAY. Scoring drive summary there for NDSU. They go 6 plays, 42 yards, take 2.5 minutes off the clock, capped off by a Eli Ozick 38-yard field goal to tie this game up at 10. If you look at our Farmers Union Insurance scoring recap, Ozick making his 7th field goal of the year. That's a win for SIU, though, Kyle.
Well, it's just still a little clunky. A little bit, I think I said that to start the game against the Citadel in the first game of the year. I mean, you had the 2 big plays, the big play to Bryce Lance, the big play to Raja Nelson. Outside of that, just hasn't been a ton of consistency so far for NDSU offensively against a defense that's frankly struggled at times so far this year. Certainly capable, but they've had some head-scratching stats.
Right.
400 yards to SEMO through the air. A couple big games on the ground as well.
Davis with a fair catch there, which was an odd signal. I thought he had some room to maybe go for a guy who's got some blazing speed. But you're right, though. Like, Harris is wide open, steps out of bounds. Bryce Lance drops the ball. That's just stuff that normally does not happen.
There. Yeah. I mean, look, this was a tough defense for me to figure out. You're trying to prep for this game, and you think they have the capability. They've shown at times some flashes. They're also giving up a ton of yards, but they put their best foot forward so far in this first half.
Lee Prunchitsky, the SIU D coordinator, spent a couple years here in Fargo as a quality control coach. This is a good run on first down for Robinson. He drives Staling all the way out to the 33-yard line and picked up 8.
Yeah, you can see switching up. A nice job there. Really kicking out. I believe that's Logan Cobb creating a seam there. Nice gain on first down.
On second down, Williams, just a little lob ball here, is going to throw that away into the second row. Logan Larson wants intentional grounding, and it's going to be third down.
Now let's take another look at this one. Nice job of Keenan Wilson of staying outside. He's in the pocket.
Yeah.
I think they're going to say the receiver in the area goes into the first row. I'm not sure exactly the parameters there, but yeah. Holding or intentional grounding, one of the two. Defensive lineman, you're always looking for something.
Nobody in the first row is eligible, I can tell you that. Another chance for the Bison to get off the field here. SIU is 2 of 5 on third downs. You look at our First Western Bank down in distance. 3rd and 2 from the 33. Williams will keep it himself. He's got a first down and then some. Look at DJ Williams explode. Finally hauled down onto the Bison side of the field. He's got a first down and then some before he was finally brought down by Jalen Duffy.
I think you got to see this coming. I mean, again, this is the similar play, a similar formation. Anytime you go empty and it's 3rd and short, you got to be alert. Quarterback draw, especially. And I know that NDSU is aware of this. Some of their offensive linemen, just keep an eye on their right tackle, number 60, Cameron Dye. If his hand is in the ground, 90% of the time they're going to run the ball. If he's standing up, a lot of times they're going to throw the ball. Keep an eye on that. When his hand was in the dirt there, I think NDSU defensively have to be aware of that. DJ Williams, obviously the biggest threat in that situation.
Biggest play of the day for him. It goes for 25 yards. Now on the Bison side of the field, Williams wants to throw for Davis, who can't come up with it. Had Staling in coverage. It'll be second down.
Yeah, really good job there by Staling of running with one of the most dynamic receivers in the Missouri Valley. You can see a little play action there. Has him just slightly underthrown, trying to hit that back shoulder, and just slightly underthrown there for DJ Williams, a rare miss.
Yeah, he's got him there. That combination has been dynamite so far in 2025. Davis came in with over 500 receiving yards and 3 scores. 4:50 to go in the first half. It's a second down and 10. Good ball game here, folks. Hope you're enjoying it. We're tied at 10. Try a little jet sweep this time, and that's blown up. Staling all over it.
Well, we highlighted his athletic ability in our pregame show, and he's done a really nice job. This is really his whole linebacking crew have done a nice job of stringing some plays out. When a little bit more of an athletic group there this year, and he certainly showed it off right there to bring up a 3rd and long.
Chapman got nothing. It's a 3rd down and 10. SIU up to 168 total yards of offense in this first half. Feel like they've had the ball. They've doubled up NDSU in times of possession, and it feels like it as well. Crowd roaring. Bison trying to get a stop. Williams, little screenplay, wide open in the middle of the field. The tight end, Aiden Quinn, and he's picked up a first down. All the way down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 12.
Well, Coach Polisic talked about Nick Hill as a play caller. This is so good. They go 4 strong. Everything looks like it's going to be a screen to the other side. Aiden Quinn actually fakes like he's going to block for the screen to the wide receiver and then just comes back underneath. I mean, that's a phenomenal play call. The last thing you're expecting, as soon as you see 3 guys go out towards the sideline, you're thinking, okay, this is wide receiver screen all day. Quinn does a nice job, just pivots, come back over the middle. He's wide open.
Just his 4th catch of the season, and it's a big one. Another 3rd down conversion for the Salukis. Now from the Bison 30. Little trickeration this time. Shakes off a man on this carry. That was E.T. Harris, the backup QB in there. Able to pick up some yardage. He's pumped up after that.
Yeah, he's fired. I mean, not Not normal to take the ball out of DJ Williams'
Right?
hands, but you got a guy with this kind of quickness. Harris showing off his ability. He gets up. He's fired up. Everyone on that side. This is what we talked about, the confidence and the swagger that this team is bringing into the Fargo Dome. They're trying to change their fortunes
They
here.
came here to win the football
That's right.
game today. There's no doubt about it. Harris got 6. You're right, though. That's an interesting move to take your best player out of the play there. 2nd down and 4. Williams shakes off a tackle. Boy, good second effort. Staling able to wrap him up. They're going to mark him at the 24, and it's going to be 3rd down.
I almost call that hidden yardage, though. I mean, this is, you got a defensive lineman. Kelton McCaslin has a shot right there, and that's what Sam was talking about with Grant Olson talking to his team. It's one thing, I mean, missed tackles are one of those things everyone wants to talk about. It's just you got to go out and do it. At a certain point, it becomes a mental obstacle you got to overcome. You just got to go out and find a way to get someone to the turf.
No gain of the play. 3rd down and 4. Another 3rd down. SIU is up to 4 for 7. They converted already 2 on this drive. As this is going to take us, though, to the 2-minute timeout. Salukis are driving, looking to take the lead back. We got 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's Southern Illinois 10, North Dakota State 10. Two minutes to go in the first half. Welcome you back to the Dome. It's a 3rd down and 4 for Southern Illinois in a tie game at 10. I have to imagine this might be 4-down territory for SIU, the way they're playing so far. They'll keep it on the ground. Wash makes a man miss. Don't care about a 4th down. He's got a 1st down inside the 20, out of the 18-yard line as he picks up 6.
Well, once again, all the offensive linemen hand in the dirt. This looks like it's going to be a run. That's exactly what it is. Tough play there for Logan Larson, but then just does a nice job again. A little bit of patience, break an arm tackle, and find the seam. We've seen that a couple different times so far from this Saluki offense. So interesting, Dom, because this is a team that kind of live and died a little bit by the big play, at least in a couple of games that I was looking at leading up to this one. This has been the opposite. They were coming in 27 minutes of time of possession was what they're averaging.
They're up to 16 minutes here in the first half.
They're going to beat that here today.
90 seconds to go in the half. New set of downs. Williams, little slant. Davis, did he catch that? They say yes. No, they changed the call. Say incomplete. Initially was ruled a catch, and the umpire said no.
You see Davis kind of pat his chest. They're like, that one's on me. Slipped there as well. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. That one hit the ground. You could see Donovan Wolin was pretty adamant as soon as he ran over there. You could see that ball fell to the ground.
2nd down and 10. Williams on the day, as you saw his stat line. Impressive in this first half. wants the corner, end zone, incomplete. Duffy was down there in coverage. As McCray was the man, it's going to be third down.
That's a good job by disrupting the time there by Jalen Duffy, just getting his hands on there, just slowing up this route just enough. McCray's outstretched arms unable to get to the ball.
Another third down.
These Bison fans are looking for something to cheer about, Don. I mean, they can't get up on their feet because this Saluki offense just been so efficient moving the football.
They have quieted them here in this first half. Big play here on a third down and 10 from the Bison 18. Blitz coming off the edge. Fumbled the football. It's loose and picked up by the Bison. Williams lost it. It's scooped up by Toby Adene. There's the play they were looking for.
That's right. Needed something to go their way. Unbelievable job here. Right there, Keenan Wilson. You see that left arm come across, and then Toby Adene just scoops it up one-handed. Nice job there. The ball kind of bouncing right where you needed to go. Really good job there. It looked like
that's Keenan Wilson with the punch out.
It looked like that was going to be. Looks like DJ Williams going to break this tackle, and he has a lot of green grass in front of him. Instead, Keenan Wilson punches it out. Toby Adene right there. Johnny on the spot to pick it up, and a huge turnover here late in this first half.
And remember this as well. The Bison get the football to start the third quarter. Tim Polasek has emphasized owning the middle eight. Well, the Bison with an opportunity now as they force another turnover as Barika Penu goes off the left side. NDSU has all three timeouts to work with here as he's able to get out to the 34-yard line. Fiegel again in on the tackle for SIU. It's a second down and 5. We're under a minute to go in the half. Payton wants the outside ball, incomplete. Trying to hit Nelson. It'll be third down.
That's a really tough throw there, trying to get that all the way to the opposite sideline. I thought, he didn't see it here. Obviously, it wasn't his first read. Barika Penu leaked out to the flat. Looked like there was no one there. Tough throw there, trying to complete it to Raja Nelson on the opposite sideline. As NDSU tries to trying to get something going here to get this 2-minute drive started.
Adene with his first career fumble recovery, and again, Keenan Wilson all over the football. He did it last week. A couple of big-time plays in the win in Normal. Here's a third down and 5, though, if the Bison want to stay on the field. Payton trying to meander his way. He's got a first down as he gets out to the 44-yard line. He picked up 10. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. Bison again with all three timeouts to work with here. They'll go hurry up. Payton wants the deep ball going down the field for Bryce Lance. He's got him in stride inside the 10. That's a gain of 51.
It's just like a matter of time at this point of when you're going to get a go ball to Bryce Lance, and more times than not, they find a way to connect, and they do it again in a big-time way right there.
Look at how they flip the field here. They're actually going to mark this a few yards up at the 9-yard line. Clock running. Payton to the end zone. Touchdown! Bryce Lance has done it again.
Well, when things are struggling, I commented it was maybe a little clunky. Just go back to this guy. I mean, this is a perfectly thrown ball. Back shoulder there. Puts it right in a spot where no one can get to it except for his guy. Bryce Lance comes up with another big-time touchdown, and what a drive there from Cole Payton operating that 2-minute drill. Didn't even have to use a timeout.
You took the words out of my mouth. They didn't even use a timeout after the Anene fumble recovery. What a flip here from when we're talking about SIU has all the momentum. They've taken the crowd out of the game, and now with half a minute left in the first half, the Bison have the lead. Extra point up and good from Osick, and with 29 seconds to go in the first half, North Dakota State now has the lead at 17-10.
Another look at a little play action fake there, and then again, this is chemistry between a quarterback and a wide receiver. Understanding Bryce Lance knows that this is not going to be a jump ball. He's going to throw this to the backside there. He'll slow down. Perfect timing there. The ball's got to come out on time, and that's exactly what happened. I was going to mention this before the game. I thought this SIU defense actually struggled a little bit with some up-tempo stuff. Thought NDSU might get to it a little bit quicker. But you saw it right there. I thought Indiana State got some things moving. SEMO got some things moving when they went up-tempo a little bit, a team that liked to do it. And NDSU obviously took advantage right there. You never know which play might turn a game, and we might have just saw it right there with that Keenan Wilson strip sack.
Farmers Union Insurance scoring recap: 5 plays, 71 yards. The biggie, the 51-yarder from Peyton to Lance, and then Bryce with his 4th touchdown reception of the season. That's the 21st of his career. He's moving up the tote board there on the all-time touchdown receiving mark. And the Bison have the lead at 17-10. Just like that, this game flipped. A shorter kickoff as Davis will field this at the 10. Vincent Davis looking for some running room. Pop there by Talon Eady at about the 27-yard line, and that's where the Salukis will start. They've got 2 timeouts to work with in 23 seconds.
Well, I can tell you, coming to this ball game, I would not have bet that Bryce Lance was leading the team in rushing and receiving going to halftime. Receiving, sure, absolutely, but thanks to that 71, just the 1 attempt and 75 yards, he's leading the team in both. Showing off, as you keep mentioning, Dom, and why he is getting a look at playing on Sundays. Just another Lance from NDSU looking to get drafted.
He is now 5th alone in all-time touchdown receptions in North Dakota State history. The next one he'll tie R.J. Urzadowski and the great T.R. McDonald for 22 all-time receiving touchdowns. Here's DJ Williams on 1st down. Hits this one to Fabian McCray. Cut back inside, and Woolen brings him down at the 29-yard line. We'll see if SIU is content here, or they're going to try one more play.
At this point, this has got to go to the end zone.
Right. This will be the final play of the half, unless there's a defensive penalty, as this one is hauled in. On the reception is Jones, and he's brought down to the 45. There is, though, a penalty flag.
I think they're going to get a free play there. Toby Anene jumped off sides.
I jinxed it, said unless there's a defensive penalty. There you go. At the 29.
Offside, defense number 93. Southern Illinois has declined this penalty. That's the end of the first half.
So that'll take us to the halftime locker room. We thought it would be a dynamite game. We've been treated to that here in the first 30 minutes. Some big plays from both teams as North Dakota State will take a 17-10 lead to the halftime locker room. Here's Sam with Tim Polasek.
Thanks, Dom. Tim, the last 90 seconds of that quarter, forced the fumble, get the score. I see the smile on your face there. What can you say about that drive?
Well, we didn't have to take a timeout. That's a little bit what's remarkable. I don't mind the first run because we had 3 timeouts. Unbelievable. Bryce Lance is a good player, and then again, what a great throw downfield. And this is a dogfight, and we're going to have to play the full 60.
Is there anything you want to see differently in the second half?
We got to tackle, but that's a lot easier said than done. These guys are really athletic and strong with the ball. Number 1 for them is a big, strong kid. We can't leave our feet. We got to get our hips and our chest to every tackle.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
North Dakota State has the lead over Southern Illinois, 17-10. Bryce Lance with a couple of touchdowns in the first half. Your Proceed halftime report coming up next on WDAY.
Welcome to the Proceed Halftime Report.
Welcome back inside of the Fargo Dome for the Proceed Halftime Report. We got a ball game on our hands. North Dakota State leading Southern Illinois 17-10 at the break. This is one of many FCS games happening across the country, many games happening across the Missouri Valley Football Conference as well. Let's take a look at some scores that are in progress right now. UNI and South Dakota State going at it. It's a 14-3 lead for the Jacks. That game is in the third quarter. North Dakota has the lead over the Penguins from Youngstown State, 21-7. That game's still in the second. One game has gone final in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. In Terre Haute, South Dakota picking up a close win against the Sycamores from Indiana State, 19-14 the final. Outside of the conference, another big game between Montana State and Idaho State. It is currently a 34-13 lead for the Bobcats over Idaho State. That game in the second half. Of course, here it's a one-score game. North Dakota State with a 17-10 lead over Southern Illinois. Bryce Lance with 2 touchdowns in the first half. We'll step aside on the Proceed Halftime Report. When we come back, we take a look ahead to next week. What's coming up on the schedule for the Bison? That's next on WDAY. Back inside of the Fargo Dome for the Proceed halftime report. North Dakota State leading Southern Illinois by 7 after the first 2 quarters. Hi, everybody. Sam Getzinger here with you. Want to give you a reminder, coming up after the game, be sure to stick around for Bison Post Game Live on the WDAY Plus app and on Inform.com. We'll have the press conference following the game, full game highlights as well, and we'll hear from the players about today's performance. Now, next week, NDSU will pack up their gear and head on the road to Terre Haute, Indiana. The Sycamores are on the schedule from Indiana State. The Sycamores coming off of a loss to South Dakota today, 19-14, as we told you earlier. Now, a reminder for you next week, it is a noon Central kickoff, and we'll have the coverage for you on WDAY. Of course, Bison Game Day from 10 to 11 in the morning on WDAY, and we will have Bison Post Game Live on WDAY Plus and Inform.com. This week, today, here in the Dome, we got a ball game here. 17-10 lead for North Dakota State over Southern Illinois. When we come back, Dom and Kyle will have your first half highlights. That's coming up next.
Proceed halftime report, 17-10. North Dakota State with a lead on Southern Illinois. Back with Kyle Emanuel I'm Dom Izzo. Stop me if you've heard this one before. SIU had the ball for 22 minutes, the Bison for about 8.5, and yet NDSU has the lead. Sounds like last week.
And 14 first downs for Southern Illinois
Yeah.
this week, 15 for Illinois State. You're right. It's a carbon copy of last week, and really NDSU struggling to get off the field. But what they also did, they came up with a big stop at the end of the first half, which they did last week against Illinois State as well to kind of flip the tide.
Let's go through our first half highlights. SIU took the ball first. They went right down the field, were able to get a field goal to start the game.
Yeah, really, I mean, it's DJ Williams making guys miss. This was the first play of the game, and like I said, it's just been really efficient. They came into the game really efficient, really balanced, and they did it right off the bat.
Bison defense, though, got a stop with a sack from Jack Giuliano to set up a Paul Heelan field goal. That gave SIU an early 3-0 lead. One play, Bryce Lance house call.
Yeah, this was an unbelievable play by Bryce Lance. A nice cutback right there. Good job of getting to the edge, and then you see Cole Payton out in front of him blocking as well. Almost to the detriment of NDSU after this, because kind of struggled a little bit after this big-time play to start the game for NDSU.
7-3 after one. SIU got its legs underneath him, as Kyle mentioned, with this touchdown from Chandler Chapman.
Yeah, Chandler Chapman, nice patience right there. And again, this controlling the clock, that's what Southern did the entire first half.
Bison offense got its feet going here, middle of the second quarter. Barika Penu with a nice run, trailing 10-7 at that point to set up Eli Ozick with a field goal to tie the game at 10.
Yeah, and you got some things going offensively a little bit, but really, you know, it's DJ Williams right here going on. This was the play of the first half. Keenan Wilson with a big-time strip. Toby Anede comes up with it, and then NDSU gets in their 2-minute drill and marches down the field.
Then they need a big play. They go, of course, who else? It's 9-5, working on a Saturday. Lance goes for 51 yards. They don't even use a timeout. And then one play later, Cole Payton to Bryce Lance for a touchdown.
Once again, perfectly timed. You heard Coach Bostic say perfectly timed, perfectly thrown. Nice catch, and what a way to end the first half for NDSU.
It's a 17-10 North Dakota State lead. We come back, second half kickoff as the Bison look to stay unbeaten. Coming up next.
This has been the Proceed Halftime Report.
Ready for the start of the second half. 17-10, North Dakota State with the lead. Our Ag Country player profile on the big man in the middle. Trent Fraley, the starting center. His 22nd straight start after coming over from Marshall. Of course, his dad, Hank, the offensive line coach, former offensive lineman with the Eagles. He's been a rock in the middle since coming here from Marshall, Kyle.
Yeah, he really has. The guy who question marks last year, and he's just been steady Eddie so far to start this season and going back to last year as well.
This will be a touchback as the Bison will start at the 25-yard line. Down to Sam for a Peterson Farm Seed sideline report.
Dom, I just spoke with Southern Illinois head coach Nick Hill a couple of moments ago. He was very pleased with the team's effort in the first half. He told his team that every great game has momentum shifts. They just have to find theirs. The emphasis in the final two quarters is on the defense, finding a way to get stops, and they can get the ball back and get some points up on the board if they want to have a chance at this one.
Just that's a huge play there. Thanks, Sam, at the end of the first half where SIU's got all the momentum. They're inside the Bison red zone, and to have that happen is just, that's a tough deal to overcome.
It's tough. I mean, give them credit. They already see their defense bouncing around, huddled up, and coming out and trying to get some energy going after NDSU recapture the momentum.
Let's just say this big series to start the second half as Penu goes off the right side, but SIU was there to sniff that one out. Almost nothing there on first down.
Yeah, great start. We were just talking about it. You see Pierre Jr. right there, number 4, just coming up. No one blocking him, and no hat on the hat, and able to set the edge, trying to pull the offensive lineman, get outside. Again, we talked about that, Dom, and that was what NDSU really had a ton of success with, was stretching the field, some of those stretch zone run plays, and SIU shut that one down.
Vinny Pierre already with his 4th tackle of the game. It's a loss of 1, makes it 2nd down and 11. They'll keep it with Penu, who's trying to cut back up. Got a couple for the Salukis, able to recover on that. Got about 4. For McClendon was in there on the tackle.
Yeah, did just enough to make him shuffle his feet, just maybe one too many times. Again, trying to go back to that kind of horizontal run game, right? You're trying to get the defensive lineman running east and west, but they got just enough penetration, make Penu kind of shuffle his feet just one too many times.
An early 3rd down here. Bison just 1 of 4 on 3rd downs in the game as they go to work from their own 28-yard line, just underway in the second half. Peyton wants down the field for Reese Kessel, and he's got him. Kessel down the field all the way inside the 30-yard line. They'll mark him at the 22. He did it again. Kessel goes for 44 yards.
That's all he does. That's all he does is catch big time passes, just right down the middle of the seam, working against the linebacker. And nice job of Cole Payton of hanging in the pocket. You see him right there working on 45, Ben Fiegel.
They'll go up tempo here with Penu, trying to get SIU sleeping. They'll get about 3. For Presto is in there on the tackle. Again, Kessel's per yardage for catch is over 30.
Yeah, he caught one a couple games ago. It was like 8 yards, and you're thinking, "Oh, this is terrible. What's he doing?" And yeah, going back to take a look at this one, and again, just outrunning linebacker. Again, we talked about how it's almost inevitable. Bryce Lance is going to catch a go ball. It's kind of becoming that way with Reese Kessel as well, with the injured Carson Williams. I mean, you knew he'd get into the game either way, but man, he has flashed this season, been a big-time player for Cole Payton.
Starting right tackle Josh Magan out. They're looking at his left foot as Schneckloth comes in here on 2nd down. As this is DJ Scott with his first carry. Good run there. Got hit from behind as he gets down to the 12-yard line. We'll see if Sam get us an update there on Magan as they got a new look offensive line. And the Bison are going quick again here as they're into the red zone. On 3rd down and short. Payton trying to get the first down. Line judge says he's got it. That's enough for a Bison first down. And Magan is coming back into the game.
That's another Bison!
A lot happening there within the span of about 25 seconds.
Yeah, it really was. And again, just kind of NDSU formation of the tush push. Get going fast. It's pretty obvious what they're going to do. Trying to get Cole Payton just that half yard. Good sign for NDSU along the offensive line to see Magan running back into the ball game.
As long as they don't do it 4 times in a row like the Eagles did the other night,
correct.
I'm okay. It's first down and goal to go from the 10. The Kessel play just changed everything. Now Payton evades pressure, hits Finn Diggins, takes a shot. The pride of Perham down to the 2-yard line. Boy, he's had a really nice senior season.
Well, looked like a dead play. pressure right in Cole Payton's face right off the bat. Then he finds a wide open Finn Diggins, and watch this, just get off of me right there. He throws the haymaker with the left arm, pick up just a few more.
Diggins with a partially torn MCL that happened right in the first drive of the season in Charleston, playing through it and having his best season as a Bison. It's 2nd down and goal to go from the 2. Pennu is the tailback. Bryce Lance split out to the top of your screen. Now he goes in motion. They'll fake it. Payton waiting, trying to take it himself. Touchdown, North Dakota State. Payton does it again.
Well, I love the play call here from Dan Larson. Anytime you have an athlete like Cole Payton, just get him out on the edge. Give him the option. Look, he wants to go to Bryce Lance there in the flat. It's not there, and then it's just so tough to bring down a guy of his size, his speed, athleticism. When you only got 3 or 4 yards, you got to be able to stick him right there, and it's just too tough to do. I like getting the athlete out on the side. Right on cue there.
Yeah, we're talking about him. I know Diggins is playing through pain. See that right knee with a big brace on it after the injury that happened in the opener. Payton finds the end zone. 4th rushing touchdown for the Bison quarterback. That drive was going nowhere till the 3rd down play to Reese Kessel. And 4 minutes later, the Bison are in the end zone. Ozick for the extra point. Up and good. Just over 4 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. North Dakota State now up by 2 touchdowns. As Cole Payton in the end zone, it's 24-10 Bison. North Dakota State now leading 24-10. Bison football is brought to you by Shields, a proud partner of Bison Athletics. North Dakota State now up by 2 touchdowns after Cole Payton finding the end zone from a couple yards out on a drive that went from nothing to something in the blink of an eye. As Ozick puts this one in for another touchback. Farmers Union Insurance scoring recap. North Dakota State goes 8 plays, 75 yards. They go 403. The big play, Payton to Reese Kessel for 44 yards. And then capped off by his 4th rushing touchdown of the season to make it a 24-10 Bison lead.
Kind of wonder what they saw maybe at halftime. If maybe linebackers playing too much man-to-man. We would like this matchup with Reese Kessel. He just ran right by the guy, and as you mentioned, Dom, that was the spark they needed.
I think they like that matchup all the time with Reese Kessel right now.
Seems like it.
Big possession here for the Salukis to start the second half as Williams wants the deep ball for Vincent Davis, and he's got him. Davis in stride for the first time. The explosive play for SIU's top wide receiver.
Well, I said in the first half, it seemed like they're getting one-on-ones basically at will on the outside, and it felt like it was, at some point you're going to hit one, and then they finally got Vincent Davis, their stud wide receiver, behind the secondary. DJ Williams, a nice job with the play action and then delivering.
It's a gain of 50 there on that pass. Williams slings incomplete. Good coverage from Donovan Woolen to break up, trying to feed it back to Davis.
Yeah, trying to spread them out, going empty once again, getting 3 wide receivers formation into the boundary, and really good job there by Donovan Woolen. Again, tough matchup for a linebacker. Then you see his athleticism to be able to match up with a wide receiver like Davis and take away that slant.
Boy, SIU ready to counterpunch right after the Bison went up by 2 scores. Williams, a little slant here, hits that one to Jay Jones. Fumbled the ball, it's loose. Looks like the Bison got it back, and they did. Duke effort down there to recover it. Another turnover by Southern Illinois.
Oh, and this is why you run to the football if you're Jackson Dutenheffer. Let's take another look at this. Jay Jones had something going.
That's popped out there.
Yeah, looks like that ball
Kivens
is out, and Dutenheffer's right there, does a nice job fighting Aiden Quinn to come up with that ball at the bottom of the pile, and NDSU once again coming up with a timely turnover when SIU was driving down the field.
That is absolute killer. That's 2 tremendous punch outs here. Officials are talking with Nick Hill, who's not happy. Let's get another look at it here, Kyle. Now that ball's out. At least from that angle, it looked like it was coming out.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they took a look at it. If that elbow goes down and he has possession, but no.
I don't like the SIU defense is coming on the field here. Watch again.
I think
there, it's loose right there.
Yep, good eye.
Great camera work by our crew. Best in the Midwest, proving it again there. 2 monster turnovers for Southern Illinois. They'll go to work. Here's Penu. Or excuse me, Raja Nelson on the carry. Got a penalty flag thrown back, though, at about the 22-yard line after Raja took that one. Bison now are up to a +8 in the turnover margin so far this season. They only have 1 turnover all season. That was Nathan Hayes.
Right, in garbage time.
Garbage time at Tennessee State.
There is no foul for holding on the play.
Okay.
Result of the play, 2nd down.
Picked up the flag as Raja was able to get to the outside there.
Yeah, and remember coming into this game, SIU was one of the better teams in the country. Had 11 takeaways to just 5 turnovers, I believe, coming into this game. Now they already have 2. And they have, I mean, turnovers are never come at a good time, but boy, they had the ball driving, momentum. Looked like they were going to take the lead going into halftime. Now the defense has to stand up here.
Critical possession here for Southern Illinois. It's a gain of 10 for Nelson. Into the flat for DJ Scott on this pass. He's able to get out to the 41 before he's brought down by Sebastian Vargas, who's in there, joined by C.J. Pearson.
Oh, this is a really good job by SIU. It looked like, I think that's Shug Walker, 33, potentially coming up, and it looked like there was even more there for NDSU. Does a nice job of coming underneath and at least limiting the game to just 5.
We saw that during fall camp. We haven't seen a ton of that with DJ Scott out of the backfield. That's just his 3rd reception of the season. He's got nice hands. Was able to get upfield quickly. He's lined up next to Peyton here on a 2nd down and 5. From the Bison 41. They'll keep it with Scott as he goes off the left side. Good running there. 2nd effort. We'll get DJ out to the 45.5-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Once again, you see Cole Payton come to the line, check, get to the right play. Again, it's a small thing, it's 4 yards, but it feels like more times than not, he finds a way to get him in the right play.
Bison will try to go quickly here as Payton will lunge forward. No signal yet if he's got it or not. Now finally the signal comes from the referee that he got a 1st down.
Yeah, that might have been.
It was real close, right?
Yeah, it looked like he lunged forward and got just enough.
I was going to say maybe he lunged a little early there.
Yeah, a little bit. And from our line here on the broadcast, it looked like it was right at it, but just enough to move the chains.
Well, the Bison trying to create some time of possession mismatch after they barely had the ball in the first half and yet had the lead. New set of downs. Little razzle-dazzle to Jackson Williams on the end around. Williams trying to find some space. He'll get a couple before he's brought down. Good tackle from C.J. Parson on that one.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Parson because you have Cole Payton out in front. Watch this block here by 9. I mean, it looks like he knows what he's doing. He can get hands up to the chin, but this is a really good play by Parson. Once again, it looked like another play where you get Jackson Williams out in space, and there might have been more there if Parson doesn't come off and make a nice tackle.
Saw last week Williams break loose for his first big play of the season, a 51-yard reception that set up the put-away touchdown from DJ Scott in the win in Normal. Gain of 3, we're right at the midfield stripe. It's 2nd down and 7. Back to Penu. Salukis bow up there. Nothing doing up the middle. Parson was in there, joined by a host of Salukis. Looked like Cameron Miller, number 13, also in the stop.
Yeah, big 90 Peyton Reeves as well, and they're taking on the double team. But you're right, Dom. There's just nothing there right from the jump. Linebackers, we talked about it in the first half, aggressive downhill. Did a nice job of the defensive line as well, getting off of blocks and really just not allowing anything up there in the middle.
They're starting 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. The Bison now 4 of 7. They converted their last 3, including the last one, the big 44-yard play to Kessel. It's 3rd and 8 on the Bison side of the field. Peyton pumps over the middle. That's hauled in. Jackson Williams cutting back up. He's got to make sure he's got the first down. He's got it now. Still lunging forward. They're going to mark him at the 41. Initially he had it, then he was going the wrong way.
He did. Give Bo Johnson credit here at the end of this run. I think he tackles Jackson Williams forward to ensure that he got the first down. Nice job of coming back for the ball, but right, watch Bo Johnson, number 7. Hey, make sure you get that first down, buddy. Good job by the offensive lineman finishing the play.
Another 3rd down conversion, though, Kyle. That's their 4th in a row. I think Polisek's talking to Jackson Williams about that exact same deal. So we click down under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Bison up 24-10 and with the football. After the forced fumble and the recovery from Jackson Dutenheffer. Owen Johnson gets his first carry, looking for some running room. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. Swarmed up there.
Yeah, you see Wingate right there. Number 9 does a nice job of setting the edge and getting penetration in the backfield. And it's a couple times so far we've seen on this drive, NDSU unable to kind of get that run game going back to their traditional, more I formation running style, and nothing doing there on first down.
Second down and 10. Penu on the day. 10 carries for 38 yards. SIU is bottled up. NDSU's top running back. Peyton flushed here. He's got a ton of green grass. Peyton trying to take off, makes a man miss, cuts back up the field, still on his feet. No one's gonna catch him. Touchdown, North Dakota State. He did it again. Put it on the highlight reel, Kyle.
That's right. I mean, it's just unbelievable. They bring pressure here, and then, I mean, his ability to weave around people and just straight up outrun them to the sideline. Watch it. I mean, there's multiple guys that have shots, and these are defensive backs, and he's just, I'm just going to keep going sideways, and you're not going to be able to catch me. We've seen this so many times throughout this year. It's not necessarily juking people. He's just, I'm going to run to the sideline, and you're not going to be able to catch me. I'm going to outrun you to the corner and get to the end zone. Once again, unbelievable play there from number 9.
41 yards for the touchdown. Ozick drills the extra point. The Bison get the football off the turnover and find the end zone. And all of a sudden, they're up by 3 scores. 4:51 remaining in the 3rd. It's 31-10 Bison. Bison football is brought to you by Sanford Health. We deliver exceptional health care here for all, here for good. Sanford Health. North Dakota State finds the end zone again. 9 plays, 74 yards. They take 5.5 off the clock. Cole Payton, 41-yard rushing touchdown. His longest run of the season makes it a 31-10 North Dakota State lead. Scoring recap brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance. Ozik's kick here is going to be returned to the 1-yard line. Dangerous play there, and it's not going anywhere. Swarmed up on the tackle. That's Antoine Booth flying in there to make the stop. Before SIU comes out on the field, here's a word from the Bank of North Dakota.
Get a boost in savings when you enroll with College Save. Simply opt in for College Save's match programs for newborns, kindergartners, and children up to 15 years old, with only one of them based on income. Visit collegesaveforyou.com to enroll today.
Polisic loving, I think actually Preston Brown, the backup quarterback, the 4th-string quarterback, was in there on the stop, Kyle.
Yeah, look at Polisic getting in there. Look, he's getting in on the action. He's ready to go.
From the 9, low snap. Handoff here. That goes to Chapman. Good job, because that almost went from nothing to something. Is Keenan Wilson able to bring down Chapman before he gets out to the 15 and pick up 6?
Yeah, I think Southern Illinois is going to go back to that kind of that 2-minute hurry-up offense if they had success. You're right. Get some things going.
Well, the complete flip here. They've barely had the ball now in the second half. Is Williams able to scoot, pick up a first down for Comp. Brings him down to the 21 and picked up 6.
Well, they just got to be kicking themselves down. I mean, we were just talking about it off air. Without those 2 turnovers, who knows what this game looks like? They've moved the ball. They haven't really been stopped outside of turning the ball over.
New set of downs from the 21. Williams over the middle. That's way too high. And a penalty flag on a couple coming in. They were trying to go for McCray, and it looks like either a hold or a PI coming. This is going to be pass interference, looks like, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was too high either way.
Automatic first down.
Jaquise Alexander.
Yeah,
again.
you got to give the guys still a chance. Either way, I mean, unless they're going to call it completely uncatchable, and I don't think it was that far off. Let's take another look at it.
He's got a good hold on him there.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Obviously, I mean, he doesn't grab him there. Who knows? Wide receiver probably can make a play on the ball.
We were going to talk about, and we did, Walter Payton candidates to start the season, or start this game. Cole Payton has put his foot down to keep his name in there. That's a great tackle in the open field. Donovan Woolen on Chapman.
Well, similar play that we saw in the first half. Again, running crossing routes. This is a man beater. And when you're playing zone and it's just a spot drop there, I mean, you have Donovan Woolen has perfect eyes there, breaks on the ball perfectly. That's exactly how you draw it up defensively.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Williams floats this one. That looked like it bounced, I thought, from up here. I'm going to say that's caught by Jones and a first down out to the 46.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Jones. Just watch, see right there, just finding the hole in the defense.
Oh, he caught it.
Good job of getting his hands underneath it.
Bobbled at the end, but he got it. First down, still go on the ground. This good run from Robinson and got popped. Big hit too. Givens is down after he gave the hit. It's coming back though. We got a holding call. Ooh, that was a big time hit.
I think Givens might have taken the worst of that, but either way, as you mentioned, there's a flag on the play. That one's coming back. It's another SIU again. He's had a couple different penalties. Obviously, the turnovers that we mentioned. Done a lot of things right offensively. He had only 10 points on the board. I mean, we're looking up at the stats, and it's especially, in the first half, it's like, how is NDSU leading in some of these? But it's just been kind of shooting themselves in the foot one too many times.
You might be right, Kyle. They may take a look at this.
Previous play is under further review for potential targeting.
You caught that one right away. Our replay official, Alex Bernega, is going to take a look at this. That was an up-high hit. Question is, where was the impact made? Right, see, there it looks like it's helmet to helmet there.
Yeah, it's helmet to helmet. Running back's lowering his head as well. I mean, you know, this is my least favorite
I know.
penalty
We haven't
review.
done one yet this year.
You're right.
Number 1. Again, from that angle there, that looks like that's a targeting play. I know Givens isn't going to hit him in the helmet, but
by the definition, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I kind of gave up trying to predict some of these because I think I've been wrong more than I've been right. It's an interesting one because it's not obviously not a defenseless player. It's not like a wide receiver coming over the middle.
Right.
Fortunate.
And there was nobody that threw a flag when it occurred as well. Replay buzzed in. By the delay on this looks like this may be a targeting call here. If that's the case, then Darius Givens is out of this game and will miss the first half.
Yeah, fortunately, that's a deep position for NDSU in the secondary. But obviously, Givens has showed up a number of times in this ball game. Obviously, not someone you want to lose.
Lengthy delay here with Carl Chapman visiting with the video review. And here we go.
After review, number 29 of the defense committed targeting with the crown of the helmet. He will be ejected from the rest of the game. That penalty will offset with a holding. It'll be first down from the previous spot.
So Darius Givens is done for the rest of this game.
I mean, we don't have enough time for me to go through my thought. I don't think, I mean, he's just trying to make a play, and it's not something where someone's defenseless. To me, I think there has to be levels of this. I know that'd be a complete rule change, but it's just unfortunate that a young man is now no longer in the game.
And misses the first half of next week's game as well when the Bison go to Indiana State.
I still think targeting should be something like a flagrant foul in basketball. There's levels to it. Yeah, maybe you keep the penalty, but player can stay in the game, and if it's a level 2, maybe then you get kicked out, but that's just not the way it rolls.
With you. I like that. So remember, there was a holding penalty against SIU, so everything gets nullified here. It's first down as Williams, incomplete. Donovan Woolen in coverage again, able to blow up that play on McCray. It'll be second down. You just don't want to give that guy time and space.
No, you don't. But Woolen again shows. Keep talking about his athletic ability, what he's able to do in coverage. Nice break on the ball to make that one fall to the ground.
Second down and 10. Williams flushed there. There was heat coming from Logan Kopp. And it's going to be third down and 10. Now this is when the Bison defense can almost pin its ears back here.
This is great design here, too. They showed a mug look, right? So they got linebackers walked up. They drop out. You see Staling drops out. Kopp comes out. Comes off the edge, completely unblocked. No one there forces DJ Williams to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to, and right into the turf.
Tough loss, though, with Givens out of the game. One of NDSU's surest tacklers and great special teams player as well. Third down and 10. Salukis are 5 of 9 on third downs. Williams flushed Donovan Woolen. Slows him down, and Isley finishes him off with a sack. Victor Isley with a big-time play.
Another great pressure drawn up by Grant Olsen. You go 3 guys to the wide side of the field, and you can see Donovan Woolen come off the edge, and he just kind of sneaks underneath, and he doesn't get it, but nice job by Isley of just a long arm right there and keeping contained and bringing down a guy that we know is not easy to bring down. Isley, what an unbelievable play there on third down.
You could show that as a Donovan Woolen highlight reel. He was involved in 4 separate plays on that drive, including basically giving Isley the sack. As Heelan will be back to punt. Line drive kick that Williams will call a fair catch for, back at his 26-yard line. Timeout, 1:55 to go in the third. Bison have opened this up to a 31-10 lead.
Emotional scenes down here on the North Dakota State sideline. Senior tight end Finn Diggins on the trainer's table being looked at by the team doctors with his left foot. He is left in crutches and a boot. His parents were down here consoling him. A tough scene down here, guys. Back up to you.
Thanks, Sam, for that. As Diggins out, and that's a reception on the far sideline for Bryce Lance as Peyton hit him in stride. Going to get out to the 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of 14. You saw that video, though, the emotion you went through this. Obviously, your former teammate Travis Beck, who got hurt near the end of his regular season in 2014. The emotion overflowing there.
Coaches talk about it all the time. You never know when your last play is going to be, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looks, at least initially right now, but obviously going to be done for today, and we'll see moving forward.
Now, Sam got to know the Diggins family last year with a story we did on Inside the Herd. We talked about his perseverance through a partially torn MCL. That looks like that maybe it finished the job here.
Yeah, just right after he just makes a big catch too, and we're talking about how he's playing through it, and that's the tough part about playing through injuries. It's just you're just more susceptible, and tough scene.
All of a sudden here, with a minute to go in the third, the Bison have firm control of this game, where you take me back an hour ago, and the game seemed like it was teetering that SIU could take the lead. Remarkable. Couple of turnovers, couple of big plays, and the Bison have opened up a 3-score lead. As Penu tries to drive forward here. SIU's rush defense has been impressive, though. They have bottled up Rika Penu today.
Yeah, I think they made some nice adjustments. We talked about it multiple times. They gave up well over 300 yards to Indiana State, a 200-yard individual rusher in a game, but they. I don't know how you can judge a defense when you get up that big. Maybe they just start to get a little bit lax, but done a nice job for the most part. It's really been some of those big plays and obviously the turnovers and the penalties that have hurt this Saluki team.
Bison are going to be willing to take this game to the fourth quarter after it was 17-10 at halftime. The Bison add 2 on the legs of Cole Payton. At the end of 3, it's North Dakota State 31, Southern Illinois 10. The fourth quarter is coming up. You're watching Bison football on WDAY. things up on this Saturday afternoon with Sam Getzinger, Kyle Emanuel, our great crew. I'm Dom Izzo. Great to be back in the booth here on this Saturday. North Dakota State with a 31-10 lead over Southern Illinois as we begin the fourth quarter with a 3rd down and 5. Peyton waiting it out. Little drop pass here to Penu, who gets loose. Barica down the sidelines. Push it up. Oh, he stays in bounds. They're going to say he's out of bounds. They'll say he's out at the 19. Barica kept on running. Either way, it's a 1st down to the SIU 19.
Yeah, nice little dump off here in Southern Illinois. They're asking, hey, I think he went out earlier. He's kind of tiptoeing that sideline the entire way. See, right there is where I believe he stepped out, but what an effort there by Barica Penu on 3rd down. So dangerous in the backfield, so dangerous in the receiving game. Just another weapon for Dan Larson in this offense.
Well, we were talking during the commercial break. NDSU's leading rushers in the game are their wide receiver and their quarterback. That's how this game has played out so far. On 1st down, Penu, little slide step. Nice move there for Barica. It's into the secondary as he gets down to the 12. Jagger Williams in there on the stop for the Salukis.
Yeah, like you said, nice side steps there. And, it's interesting, stats sometimes lie to you. I mean, you look at, you take away the Cole Payton scramble for the touchdown. If he just, in that first play of the game, if he just tosses that to Bryce Lance, now that's considered a pass. Now the rushing numbers look so much better, but as it stands, NDSU looking really balanced once again offensively. Obviously aided by the 75 yards there from Bryce Lance in the first play of the game.
As it is now, they're over 400 yards, up to 434 of total yards as we're just underway in the 4th. 2nd down and 3. They'll keep it on the ground again. Penu trying to spin his way there. Got met by a host of Salukis. Presto is the first, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Just such an interesting ball game. I know we just talked about it before we went to break, before the quarter. It just doesn't feel like it's 31-10. I mean, and I'm probably going to say it a number of times here in our post-game show too, but it's just like Southern, you had every opportunity to take control of this game, especially that's why I say it every week, but that's why that middle 4 is just so important. And NDSU dominated both sides of that.
Bison back into the red zone here with a 3rd down and 1 from the SIU 10. Back here to Penu. Second effort was strong. That's going to be enough for a Bison 1st down as he gets down to the 8. Or DJ Scott, got that carry. He's going to pick up 2. It'll be a Bison 1st down.
Yeah, really good effort there by DJ Scott. I think he might have been stopped short initially. As you mentioned, Dom's second effort does a nice job of surging forward and finding a way to move the chains as NDSU moves into this too early to call it 4-minute offense, but really just trying to grind it out here and keep the ball on the ground, keep this clock ticking.
1st down and goal to go from the Saluki 8. Scott is the tailback. Mackay Collins split out to the top. Scott will get it here, go straight up the gut. We'll get a couple for the transfer from Kennesaw State. Vinny Pierre, another tackle for the Saluki corner.
Yeah, going big formation. Did a nice job at I thought initially at the line of scrimmage, just unable to kind of climb to that 2nd level. He just got smacked in the ground thinking he should have broke a tackle, but expect to see healthy dose of the DJ Scott, Barica Penu here as this 4th quarter rolls on.
Got 2. It's 2nd down and 6. 2nd down and goal from the 6. Bryce Lance split out to the top. They'll keep it on the ground with Barica Penu. Touchdown, North Dakota State. Back in the end zone for the 9th time this season.
Well, they just continue to grind on you, does this NDSU offense. We're just talking about the rushing yards, and yeah, a lot of it was from one play, but they just keep going back to that well, especially we've just seen this for so many years. Valley teams are tired of seeing it late in the ball game, and NDSU able to run the ball effectively, run some clock, and does Dan Larson nice job of switching things up, going to the gun run game, and Barica Penu finding his lane.
You just shake your head up here that this game was tight, and all of a sudden it's not. Get some movement there up front. Looked like Jones was trying to jump it there to potentially block.
Offside, with contact, defense number 13, half the distance, retry.
I mean, there's very good argument to be made. This should have been 17-10 Southern Illinois instead of NDSU going into halftime. And then even a better, could have been 17-7. I mean, or 24-17. NDSU scoring. Southern had every chance. They're driving down.
A whole different conversation we'd have about this football game.
Right.
But 2 forced turnovers, 2 punch-outs for the Bison to recover. First from Keenan Wilson, recovered by Toby Anene as the extra point up and good from Eli Ozick. 11:23 to go in the game. The number 1 team in the country is cruising. Bison are up by 28. Scoring recap. The Bison capitalize here on a 9-play, 75-yard drive. They take 5.5 minutes off the clock. Barika Penu, 6-yard rushing touchdown, makes this a 38-10 Bison lead. As this kick will go for another touchback, SIU will get the ball at the 25-yard line. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by North Dakota State University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of North Dakota State University and Learfield. Southern Illinois is the 8th ranked team in the country here. Illinois State was ranked 6th last week when the Bison won by more than 2 scores. I mean, these are not bad football teams for people that are watching at home. As Williams, incomplete into the flat. He and Vincent Davis just have not been on the same page here today.
Yeah, they've missed a couple different times, and that's maybe the one thing they've done. As I mentioned, they've done a lot of nice things offensively. I thought they ran the ball effectively as well. But these two just a couple different times. Davis has lost his footing. Seen too many hand claps if you're a Saluki fan from one of your best players.
I guess my larger point here, Kyle, is SIU's going to win football games this year, like Illinois State did last year when they end up winning 10 and went to the playoffs. Just the Bison are at a different level right now as that carry comes from Edward Robinson as he gets out to the 32 for Austin Altapeter came in there with the tackle.
As we talked off the top, I mean, there's a realistic chance they run the table after this game.
Good.
I mean, no South Dakota State. I mean, UND is going to be a tough one without a doubt, but they get them at home.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge game now next week, knowing UND's got a big lead at home against Youngstown as Williams intercepted. That's picked up by Oliver Lucht, the Fargo Davies product, with his first career interception. How about that?
Williams' pass is
young man who moved to the backup linebacker spot comes up with his first career interception.
Look, good things happen when you get to your drop zones, right? You're just right outside the hash, just get to your zone, get your eyes back on the quarterback, and Luck does a great job of getting up and taking this away. That's the one DJ Williams going to, it's tough, right? You can't float that. You got a safety on the other side, and he just kind of short arms it just enough, and how about that from Oliver Luck?
Fellow Fargo kid, he's probably sick of hearing all the nice things about Kessel, the South kid, so Davies gets to stand up there. Congratulations to Luck, who has grinded it out on scout team now to move into the backup middle linebacker spot and comes up with the pick. And the Bison with their third forced turnover of the game. Peyton into the flat, wide open on that reception. It's Davies to Davies as Truman Weremeyer with an absolute lays the smack down there on Vinny Pierre. Pierre was down for a second here. Watch the collision here.
Yeah, I saw Weremeyer get up, and he kind of gave the, hey,
right,
you smacked me in the head too.
Yeah, Pierre's going to have to go off after you saw him drop there. It's the first reception of the season for the Fargo Davies alum. Weremeyer was a two-time state champion wrestler. You don't mess with a guy like that.
Took a big shot on that like nothing happened.
Right?
Wrestler's a different breed.
Again, now the turnover margin up to +9 for North Dakota State this season, with 3 more takeaways today. On a 2nd down and 1. Keep it on the ground with Penu, who's dancing into the secondary. Nice run by Parika down to the 15-yard line. He picks up 8. Flores brought down on the tackle.
A great play design to get the defensive line upfield, and then Penu just, once again, finding the seam right in the middle of that offensive line. And
SIU with an injured player. That's Noah Freed, number 98. Slow to walk off here. One of their better interior linemen. 6'2" senior. Southern Illinois back home, as Kyle mentioned, next week with another large one with the University of North Dakota coming in. And we know the Fighting Hawks are up big on Youngstown State. Suddenly that becomes maybe the biggest game of the year in the Valley up to this point.
For sure, yeah, I think without a doubt. I mean, UND kind of has already solidified, I think, their place with some weirdly losses, right? But we'll see what they can do down on the road in Carbondale.
New set of downs from the 15 as Peyton rolls out here. He's in trouble and going to be brought down. That play got blown up as the Salukis are in there to make the tackle. Looked like Cameron Kaysen came out of that cornerback spot to make the play.
Well, it looked like a broken play. I don't know if this was supposed to be a bootleg from the get-go, but there was no one was running a route. I mean, really no one to even throw the ball away to.
He gets a nice ovation. His day is done as Nathan Hayes is into the game. Last week stopped the streak. Hayes didn't get in the game last week. He had gotten into the previous 4, but he didn't, as he plays now in his 5th of 6 games for North Dakota State, the junior quarterback out of St. Charles High School. Here's DJ Scott trying to get to the outside. He stayed in bounds. Touchdown, North Dakota State. What a run.
Scott, the ball carrier. Touchdown, North Dakota State.
This game has gotten out of hand now.
Yeah, all of a sudden, phenomenal run here. You see the stiff arm there, 2 stiff arms, and then watch this right here. Comes back in to make sure he lowers the shoulder, stays in bounds. Good recognition of understanding where he is out on the field. Come back in there, deliver the blow, and then continue running right into the end zone for another 6 for NDSU.
Scott with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. That from 24 yards out. Another touchdown off of the turnover. Extra point up and good from Osick. 8:57 to go in the game. It's all Bison. North Dakota State leads it 45-10. Back here at the Dome, 45-10 the score. Let's look at the Farmers Union Insurance scoring recap. 4 plays, 32 yards, 24-yard rushing touchdown from DJ Scott. Now 45-10, North Dakota State after the Oliver Luck interception. We're just shaking our heads up here. This was a game not that long ago, and it's not anymore as Ozick drills another touchback.
First and 10 for the Salukis at the 25-yard line.
That's the scary thought, I guess, for the rest of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, knowing that Bison were, as you see Polisic talking with Darius Givens, of course, was ejected earlier in this game. That, okay, we talked about off the top, this was going to be statement game here because we're halfway through the season. Who's real contender for Nashville? Certainly North Dakota State is in that. I don't know if this takes SIU out of it, but they're going to have a longer road to hoe to make some hay.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
I think, you know, are they for, to me, it still showed it, right? And now things fell apart way quicker than any of us could have maybe expected, but I think they still showed enough flashes where if they put it together, limit some of those turnovers, I think they could still play with a lot of teams in the FCS.
Williams still in the game as well as he swings this out to Chapman, who makes a man miss. Chapman still on his feet, dragging Austin Altapeter and Peter Haugo onto the Bison side of the field as they get to the 46-yard line. Now this will bring up the same conversation we had a couple weeks ago when we were here, when Aiden Bauman stayed in the game when it was 51-3. Williams is still in. You're down 35 with 8 minutes to go. I'll just putting it out there as he goes into the, and that's dropped there by Chapman. That may have been a lateral. They'll say it's just incomplete. I mean, there's still 8 minutes to go, but this is your guy. You can't afford any injury there.
Yeah, I mean, they lived through it a year ago. I mean, if you're a Saluki fan watching this, you don't want him in the game. As we take a look at this, yeah, that's clearly a forward pass and incomplete. But yeah, it's a little head scratching. I think I might get him out of the ball game at least, very least. I'm probably not running him anymore.
That was my next question. Yeah.
If anything, drop back and throw it or hand it off.
Second down and 10. Keep it back on the ground here with Robinson. Nice cut here for Robinson as he'll get into the secondary and pick up an SIU first down for he's brought down by Altapeter.
A tough task for the second unit here from NDSU. One of the best offenses in the country, averaging over 40 points a game, and most of them still in the ball game.
New set of downs from the Bison 36. Williams trying to go to back shoulder throw. That's incomplete. And a late penalty flag. Shadimi Alfaro and Jones were wrapped up down the far sideline. Again, we talked about this earlier. This is almost a no-win scenario for a corner.
Yeah, it really is. I think you're going to see it.
Pass interference, defense number 24, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Shadimi Alfaro just has his left hand, I think, on him. Jones just a little bit too long. Back judge couldn't see it. So take another look. See, and tough to see right there, but I think his left hand was wrapped around Jones.
With the penalty, makes it first and 10 for Southern Illinois at the 21-yard line.
So a new set of downs at the Bison 21 with 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Again, it was 17-10 Bison at halftime. Williams here into the flat. Robinson on the reception. Looked like Luck was in there. Joined in the tackle. Will Stile came in there to make the stop.
Nice little angler out there from Robinson. Just finds him open over the middle.
Gain of 7 makes it second down and 3 as the Salukis into the ready red zone. They'll try to go to that fade route again. Another penalty flag coming down. Same two guys involved. Shadimi Alfaro asking, what can I do here?
Yeah, I mean, I think these are good calls. I mean, I do. I think his hands are on the receiver just a little bit too long. You see that?
Pass interference, defense number 24, spot foul, automatic first down.
You see guys hand fight all the time.
I mean,
that's pretty obvious. Anytime you can see the pull of the jersey, it's a pretty easy call for the refs.
So would the penalty help now down to the 3-yard line with a first down and goal to go. Robinson lined up next to Williams. He's split out now. Williams will make a man miss, and he'll get in for the touchdown. DJ Williams with a rushing score and makes it now a 45-16 score.
Yeah, tough play there. Motion Robinson out. Everyone's thinking that he might throw that out to the flat, and then haven't seen it a ton, obviously, here in this second half especially, but DJ Williams making one guy miss, and then just an easy trot into the end zone.
His 12th rushing touchdown of the season for the SIU quarterback. As Halen is in for the extra point attempt. Try to put some lipstick on this for SIU because this has been a thorough Bison domination here in the second half. Extra point is up and good. 6:58 remaining in the ball game. It's all Bison. NDSU leads it 45-17. .6:58 remaining in the ball game. 45-17. NDSU with the lead on SIU. Back with Kyle Emanuel. I'm Dom Izzo. This game was 17-10. Bison at halftime. NDSU ability to force turnovers has completely changed this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we're sitting up here and we're talking, how does this happen? Kind of head scratching, especially, but that's what it is. You never know. I mean, this one's unfortunate, right? Jay Jones almost down on the ground, but it's just that's been kind of the story of this second half. Really, the ball game for Southern Illinois, just those turnovers, and then NDSU taking advantage.
Real quick, Kyle, here's what the Salukis, the last 6 they have. They host UND next week, host Northern Iowa, go to Murray, go to Youngstown, host USD at Illinois State. They may be favored in all 6 of those games, but I look at the game at Youngstown and the game at Illinois State may define what happens to their season.
We talked about a big one against UND, but those are the two. The other ones you
got to go on the road for these two,
I mean, again, we saw the flashes offensively. You take away those 3 turnovers, and who knows what this ball game looks like, because they are clearly one of the best offenses for a reason. I don't think it was a fluke that they were putting up over 40 coming into this game.
NDSU's second string is in as Hayes sings this one to the outside. There's Isaiah St. Romain, pride of Williston, North Dakota, with his second career reception. His first one went for a touchdown back in Charleston.
Yes, it did. And see, we've talked about this a number of times we've been in the game, just the arm talent there from Nathan Hayes. I mean,
on the run, right?
Not your typical backup quarterback where you're just putting him in to hand the ball off. He's a really good talent there. Someone come in for Cole Payton and relieve him late in these ball games.
Gain of 13 on the reception of St. Romain as DJ Scott cuts back forward. He'll get out to the 43 before he's brought down by Fiegel on the tackle. And for those that missed it, Scott transferred in from Kennesaw State, spent the last 2 years there, only got in a handful of games, entered the portal, and after the departure of Marty Brown, Bison were looking for another back, and boy, they may have found a really nice player in DJ Scott.
Oh, they have. They really have. And for the guy that maybe Bison fans that weren't obviously aware of coming to this season, I've been thoroughly impressed with what he's been able to do with that 1-2 punch with him and Brika Penu.
It's a gain of 5, second down and 5 from the 43. Here's Owen Johnson, got a carry earlier off the right side. Good running room there for the Mankato native. He's got a first down as he gets out to the 48-yard line. Before he's brought down to the tackle, Amir Dwight, and on the stop.
I think one of the other stats, I mean, again, stats will lie to you all the time, but
in this game,
we were looking at it. I mean, the time of possession at one point was so lopsided. Yeah. Before that last drive, NDSU actually was leading the time of possession before that last drive from Southern Illinois, and probably, depending on how this drive was, they're probably going to maybe take it over. I mean, that's just, from what we saw in the first half, just a complete flip of this script.
From the 48-yard line as we click down under 5 minutes to go. Johnson will get another carry here, this time off the left. Looked like Sebastian Vargas Escobar was in there on the tackle. Gets out to the 48. The intriguing thing to me about how the Bison offense is running these days, it's not first down in your days, we're going to pound it on first down, we're going to pound it on second down. More often than not, the Bison are throwing it on first down.
Yeah, it's almost like the tailback running game's the switch up a little bit. And they're still balanced offensively. The yards usually come out to show that, but you're right. It's a Cole Payton-led offense, and getting him out on the edge and allow him to scramble around and throw the ball to Bryce Lance is kind of your fastball.
Here's Cortez LeGrand exploding, the Minnesota transfer, getting his first carry into the SIU secondary as he gets out to the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 10 and a Bison first down.
Yeah, pretty impressive push here by this Bison offensive line, especially along that right side. You see the burst there from Cortez LeGrand, another guy that we've seen a handful of times this year. Been pretty impressed with what we've seen, regardless of the score in the ball game. Guy that comes in and does a really nice job.
Again, NDSU has scored 30 points or more in every game so far this year. We're now halfway through, which is a remarkable stat in its own right, and what they have done offensively. Hayes will throw here to the outside. That's hauled in on the reception. Minot's Logan Conklin comes up with a pick. We got all sorts of North Dakotans making plays here late in this game.
Yeah, we sure do. And once again, I mean, you could just dial this up every play. I mean, it's just this deep out. We saw this times last year as well with Nathan Hayes when everyone was introduced to him. It just makes that throw look a lot easier than it probably is.
Conklin had one of the all-time great high school performances in this building in the Dakota Bowl a couple years ago for Minot, and leading the Magicians to a state championship comeback win over Shanley. Got offered to walk onto the football team the very next day, and here he is playing for the Bison. Here's Owen Johnson on that first down run. Good run that time before he got smacked down to the ground by Cameron Kaysen. By the way, Cole Payton's final numbers here, robot-like, video game-like, 13 of 16, 243 and a touchdown, adds another 48 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, if we're going to have legitimate conversations now about the Walter Payton Award, it has to start with him.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's cemented his name in there. I mean, with what he's been able to do to start this season. And to me, it's again, obviously the athletic, but the decision-making too. When there's something out there, he pulls it down and he makes something happen with his legs.
Johnson trying to move forward here and going to be brought down by a host of Salukis. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. Bison 2 minutes away from going to 6-0 to start 2025. They lead it 45-17. close to a first down. And that will officially take us to the 2-minute timeout after that play by Hayes to St. Romain. The Nodak Insurance Company player of the game, I think we can set and repeat on this one. Cole Payton, 291 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Another ho-hum day at the office for the Nebraska kid.
Yeah, and he weaves, right? That's the way I would describe it. You see him get out in the open field, and obviously, I mean, we've talked a ton about what he's been able to do with his arm after all the question marks kind of coming into the season. Can he do it consistently? Well, we can stop talking about that, but we saw him with that long touchdown run.
Yeah.
And he's outrunning defensive backs, and it's almost not fair at this point.
Well, Jeff Kolpak gave us the stat at Bison Game Day this morning. What Cole Payton has done through the first 5 games, what Cam Miller had done through the first 5 games, they were almost identical. And we were talking about Cam for the Payton last year.
Almost identical, and Cole Payton's actually been
slightly
more
better.
efficient,
Yeah.
right? Which Cam Miller was Mr. Efficiency. That's what he did, and Cole Payton somehow is eclipsed that. You see some of his highlights here. It's just like, I mean, you can't blitz it. I mean, you can, but if he gets by it, now you don't got guys in the back to slow him down. He makes throws like this to Bryce Lance. It's tough sledding for defensive coordinator, for defensive players in general to try and find a way to slow down a guy that athletic who's throwing the ball at that efficient of a clip. Just seems like it's just like a matter of time, right? We've seen Team Illinois State a little bit, slowed him down a little bit, made him, slow down some of his progressions. Polisek talked about that, right? But it just seems like a matter of time before he's going to find something downfield.
This is the only Bison home game in the month of October. NDSU is going back out on the road the next 2 weeks with Indiana State, a long road trip next week, and then the Biggie coming up at the end of October with the Jackrabbits looming for the marker. And then the Bison do not leave the state of North Dakota in November. The one road game is in Grand Forks, but suddenly that's becoming even bigger by the week. But it certainly seems the next couple weeks is going to tell the story, because we're going to have the first playoff rankings come out on Wednesday afternoon. Kyle, there's no way in my mind NDSU is not number 1 here.
Yeah, they'll be number, especially today.
Right.
I mean, you could maybe
after what they've done with the last 3 weeks to rank teams.
3 ranked teams. Now South Dakota is, in my mind, should not be ranked anymore. They squeaked out a win against Indiana State today by 5 points, but still, Illinois State was legit. That's a good football team. On the road at night, they found a way to win, and then obviously what they did to get it today against the Southern Illinois team that came in red hot.
Out of the 2-minute timeout. Back to the ground on this carry as LeGrant gets that one. As he gets down to the 10-yard line. It'll be second down. Grant Thompson in there on the stop as the Bison are back into the ready red zone here. I don't know if the offense heard me when we were talking to the preseason. I thought the defense was going to be the strength of the team. Defense is good, but the offense has just been crazy so far.
You kind of expected that, right? Now it was weird because coming into the season, we're talking about a defense that might be better than last year, and they had a lot of pieces to replace. They've been really good, but the offense has just been running out of things to say about how impressive they've been to start this season.
They are now into the best position in football if you've got the lead, which is the victory formation. Bison are going to get to 6-0. Which will match their best start since the 2021 season. NDSU started 8-0 that year. They're going to remain unbeaten against SIU in this building, be their 8th straight win against the Salukis. And in the process, solidify that they are number 1 and maybe trying to set some separation between themselves and number 2. South Dakota State was scuffling with Northern Iowa for a bit. They pulled away there as that will be the final kneel down and what's going to turn out to be a 4-touchdown win for North Dakota State here this afternoon.
Once again, a great job of handling adversity. Coach Polasek talked about hadn't faced any of it to start the year. Faced it last week against Illinois State, responded the right way. Faced it again today. Defense comes up with the plays that you needed. That guy, number 9, Cole Payton, did some unbelievable things as Nick Hill, once again, kind of scratching his head. What happened here in Fargo? This had all the makings to be their closest game in Fargo since 2012, if not even walking away with their first win. And all of a sudden, you looked away for a little bit. You came back to this game. You turned it on. You're like, what in the world happened? NDSU captured all the momentum and just took it to Southern Illinois for the rest of the game.
Salukis dropped to 4-2. They're back home next week for a biggie with UND. The Bison 6-0 will head back out on the road for the next 2 games, but If you turned away, you missed an opportunistic Bison defense is what you missed, because they swarmed. They did not give up on any play. They were able to force turnovers and in the process win by 4 touchdowns. Sam is standing by with Tim Polasek.
Thanks, Tom. Tim, back-to-back games where it really started in the middle 8 and then a dominant second half. What was the difference after the halftime break?
I just think that's the importance of the middle 8. You know, we get a stop. First of all, they don't get any points beforehand, and we get I'm telling you, this is an emotional game played by, in some cases, young men, and then other cases, men, and those are big momentum swings, and I think just that. You know, and our guys did a great job forcing takeaways today.
The ability to create those turnovers and then to score after them, how crucial was that?
It's Bison football, you know, complimentary football. Go out there, do your job, get the ball back for the offense. At halftime, I most certainly wouldn't bring you guys into those conversations. I asked the defense to get one more takeaway, and the offense will bring it home. And I thought we did exactly that. Great response by our players.
Sum up the last 2 weeks here against top 10 opponents. You're a team that comes in here as one of the most prolific offenses in the country, and to hold them to 17 points, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and really held them to probably under 250, you know, before we were kind of playing some young kids, and, you know, they were still coming at us. It's really good. And that team is a really good football team, and we can't apologize for doing our job and taking care of business. We out-hit them today. We were physical at the point of attack, and we created 3 takeaways and also put another 2 balls on the ground. And so that's just a good team win, and we're excited for next week.
Thanks, Tim. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Don, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. Just looking through the last 3 ranked opponents, the Bison have beaten them by a combined score of 129-46. I mean, that's the 3 ranked teams that they have dusted. As Sam has got the player of the game with him.
Cole Payton is our Nodak Insurance player of the game. Cole, another fantastic performance, especially in the second half. What can you say about this team's effort in the second half, not just today, the last 2 games?
Yeah, well, I think a big part of it is the middle 8, you know, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half, and that was a big emphasis because we were only up 17-10. You know, we started fast, which was an improvement from last week. We didn't start very fast on offense, and so with Bryce Lance having that big run just on the first play of the offense for the offense was awesome. But we got to convert on 3rd down, do a better job of that in the first half, and then, you know, we finally started clicking in the second half. So.
When you see the defense do what they did, create turnovers, hold SIU to 17 points, to want to complement them with scores off of turnovers, how crucial was that today?
It's big time. I mean, if you're on the positive side of the turnover margin, you know, way better chance to win, and our defense does a great job working on that every week and making it an emphasis. And so we're nothing without Code Green, and so we did a great job of just playing complimentary football today.
We didn't see him a lot in the second half, but Bryce to start the game was really impressive. What did you think when you just see what he did in the first 2 quarters?
You know, I'm not surprised. He's a freak of nature. He's the fastest guy on the field, and he can make people miss. And so, yeah, he's outrunning everyone on the first play. And then, you know, that 2-minute drill was led by him, and he goes and makes those plays and he's running by corners that are 10 yards off of him to start. So, hell of a player.
Cole, congratulations on this one. Thanks for joining us. Cole Payton's our Nodak Insurance player of the game. Guys?
Thanks, Sam. I don't know how fast he is because Payton was faster than Bryce down the field on that play.
I was going to say, I think I'd pay money to watch him race. I think it'd be a good race. Fantastic race. 5 versus 9. Sign me up for that.
Just give me your thoughts, though, on that. 129-46 on 3. These are not bottom-rung teams. These are all teams on the top, either 10 or top 15 of the FCS Bowl.
Yeah, look, the South Dakota game was just pure dominance, right? Yep. But the other 2, really, to me, again, I mentioned it, right? It was bouncing back from a little bit of adversity. Nothing's ever going to go perfectly, swimmingly, right, throughout a season. So I thought the way that they were able to respond, and to me, it's a championship identity. It's a championship mindset of understanding, look, we just got to hang around. Something is going to go right. Someone's going to make a play. Today it was Keenan Wilson. That was the play. I mean, it really was. And you point to, it's tough to point to one play, but they found a way to make the plays with happy. We saw it last week with a long touchdown to Bryce Lance, a 3-and-out from the defense. They found a way to make the key plays when they needed to, and this is obviously a front runner right now to make it to Nashville.
Let's go through the scores of the day across the FCS, the Missouri Valley Football Conference. South Dakota State is 6-0. The Jackrabbits handled Northern Iowa 31-3. We'll see SDSU in 2 weeks' time. Dandy one going on, Kyle, in Grand Forks. North Dakota leading Youngstown State 28-17 as they play in the third there.
Yeah, this was one of North Dakota, I believe, up 28-7. Had complete control of this game. Youngstown State does a nice job of fight. We wondered how much they had left in the tank after taking SDSU to the wire a week ago, doing a nice job of hanging in there on the road.
Remember, UND goes to Carbondale next week. Couple other scores to go through before we get out of here. USD struggles to beat Indiana State 19-14. Montana State trying to lay claim to either the third or the fourth spot in the FCS poll with a big win over Idaho State. The Cats, after starting 0-2, have now won 5 in a row.
Yeah, you feel, I mean, they started off the season about as hard as it could be,
right,
and they've bounced back in a big way.
Don't forget, we're back with you next week in Terre Haute, North Dakota State, Indiana State. Our coverage begins with Bison Game Day at 10 a.m. on WDAY. We kick it off at noon from Paradise. And don't forget Bison Postgame Live to wrap things up on WDAY Plus, which is coming up here in just a few minutes. It was another thorough performance from the Bison defense today. They forced 3 turnovers and turned them into 3 Bison touchdowns, led by the remarkable Cole Payton, who had 3 more touchdowns today. That'll wrap it up. Thanks to our tremendous crew. Full highlights and reaction coming up on WDAY Sports with Kenzie Iserman at 6 o'clock. For Sam Getzinger, Kyle Emanuel, Grant Halbert, our great spotter, and our great crew, I'm Dom Izzo. Thanks so much for watching Bison Football on WDAY. We'll see you next Saturday from Terre Haute.